the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, a life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Superhero. Superhero.
Alright guys, welcome to the stream. Good evening. Welcome to, what is it? Third night in a row. We have another watch along for you guys tonight. Tonight we're watching Liverpool v Arsenal in the Carabao Cup for the third time already. So yeah. If you guys are new, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. We post notifications on. We do this every single night there's a game on. Saturday, don't forget, Saturday we are watching Everton v Brighton live from Goodison Park. If you guys can smash, if you guys want to watch that game, that will be on Saturday. Just having little issues with my radio, the commentary right now. Just bear with me. What the hell is going on? It's just not loading. Firefox is not loading anything. It's legit not loading anything right now. Oh man. It doesn't want to load tonight. It wants to be a pain in the freaking ass, like usual. Oh, then we have to sign in with this BS. My god. Okay, now my password's been changed. Brilliant. This password's been changed. Oh, there we go. I'm in. Right, radio.
Game tonight, as it was on Monday night as well. Just a little bit of history, well, maybe not history repeating, but more Liverpool Arsenal live from Anfield. But John Murray, Stephen Warnock, Ian Dennis, and I talking about the England squad named by Gareth Southgate today. This question of Harry Kane, Ian. I suppose the thing.
Alright, guys, enjoy the game. I'll see you guys at full time. Enjoy the game, guys.
Great
Bye.
asset. Rightly says that England fans want him in the England team, scoring goals for England as well. It's hard to keep everyone happy.
Enjoy the game, guys. See ya.
It is, yeah, but I think that Gareth Southgate has been a club manager, of course, himself. He's aware of the demands, but he's also aware that this is a rather unusual start to a football season, and that's the reason why he's named a 30-man squad, and that's down to the lack of pre-season for a lot of the players, a lot of the physical issues that these players are going to be faced with. So it is going to be a challenge. It is going to be an interesting period, but I did particularly like that line from Gareth Southgate when, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, he said, "I hope Jose then will look after Harry Kane in April for the 55 million people who'll be relying on him at that point." But he also did make the point, in all seriousness, that Jose Mourinho has never once asked Gareth Southgate not to select a player. And so I think the fact that we've got these 3 games in a week for England, it is the friendly against Wales, if such a thing exists, and I think that Gareth Southgate will try and manage the welfare of the players to not just for their own individual needs, but also from an England point of view as well, because after the friendly, they've got 2 competitive games coming up against Belgium and Denmark.
Well, let's move away from the England team for a second, because 39 days since Bayern Munich were crowned European champions, the draw for the group stages of this season's Champions League has been made. And it's Manchester United in with PSG and RB Leipzig. And actually, Ian, I was looking on Twitter earlier on under the hashtag Group of Death, and there were a few Man City fans saying that they thought they'd got the Group of Death. But I think that will be a hard one to argue, don't you think?
Yeah, I think Manchester City, I would say, the English quartet have got the easiest draw in Group C, with Porto, the Portuguese champions, Olympiacos, the Greek champions. Marseille were possibly the hardest, or one of the hardest teams to have come out of pot 4 for Manchester City. But when you look at their group in comparison, say, to Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain, runners-up last year, Leipzig, who lost in the semi-finals to Paris Saint-Germain, and then Istanbul Başakşehir, who are making their debut in the competition, a club only founded in 1990, the Turkish champions. So it's certainly a daunting start for them, with Paris Saint-Germain, Leipzig and Manchester United. And of course United will have fond memories of Paris Saint-Germain from that very dramatic victory in 2019 in the last 16, when Marcus Rashford converted that injury time penalty to see them through on the away goals rule. I think Liverpool is going to be very entertaining, because Liverpool are in with Ajax, Atalanta, who you might remember last year lost their first 3 group games in the knockout stages, yet still progressed, but top scorers in Serie A, so they're an exciting side to watch. And Midtjylland as well, the Danish champions. Well, as for Chelsea in Group E, there's going to be an instant reunion for Edouard Mendy, their goalkeeper, of course, signed for £22 million from Rennes, because they're paired with Chelsea, along with Krasnodar, who finished 3rd in the Russian league, and Sevilla, the Europa League holders for Chelsea too.
And in Group G, we're going to see a couple of vaguely familiar names in European football going head-to-head, aren't we?
Yes, the head-to-head of Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Ronaldo, 31 goals last season, managed, of course, now by Andrea Pirlo, but I'm sure that Messi will have got over his disappointment, and he'll be reinvigorated for an opportunity to go up against Ronaldo once more. A repeat of the 2015 Champions League final. Dynamo Kiev and Ferencváros, the Hungarian champions, managed by Sergei Rebrov, also make up Group G. And at one stage I thought that Group A might have been quite tasty when we had the holders Bayern Munich with Atletico Madrid, but the other 2 teams, Salzburg and Lokomotiv Moscow, not necessarily as hard as it was for Manchester United when Leipzig came out of pot 3. And just to round off the other 2 groups I've not mentioned, Group F, Zenit and Dortmund, Lazio and Bruges, and then in Group B, Real Madrid and Shakhtar Donetsk and Inter and Borussia Mönchengladbach make up that quartet in Group B.
I think even though there weren't representatives from clubs there was an awful lot of faffing around that went on in usual Champions League draws.
Gets longer every year, Ellie.
How long did that draw take, Ian, in total?
It was certainly over an hour, and it gets longer every year, but I think because normally the glamour and the glitz is in Monaco, but because of the COVID restrictions, it was actually filmed in a Swiss TV headquarters in Geneva, and they actually just strung it out for as long as they possibly could. In all seriousness, what I should say, that although we know the groups, the fixture schedule will not be known until Friday evening, and I think that's because of the extra discussions that need to be taken place because of COVID.
More on this in a second, but Betty Glover, you got a goal in the Women's FA Cup semi-final.
I do indeed, and it's gone to the holders, Manchester City. It's City 1, Arsenal 0. It was captain Steph Houghton from a free kick after Leah Williamson took down Caroline Weir on the edge of the box. Before that goal, it was all a bit cagey, to be honest. Not a lot to really talk about apart from a couple of chances for Manchester City. But remember, the winner will go to Wembley and play Everton in the final. It's Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0.
Quickly back to the UEFA Cup Champions League draw. Awards given out. John Murray, Stephen Warnock still with us at Anfield, ahead of Arsenal playing Liverpool there tonight. Bayern Munich striker Robert Lewandowski won the UEFA Men's Player of the Year award. There was a Men's Coach of the Year award to Bayern Munich's Hansi Flick, and Chelsea's Pernilla Harder, formerly of Wolfsburg, is the UEFA Women's Player of the Year. Any thoughts on that, John and Stephen?
I thought that Jurgen Klopp certainly had a case for Coach of the Year, but I think what Hansi Flick did at Bayern Munich to come in and take the club, I think I'm right in saying they were 8th in the league when he came in, and to go on the run that they did and end up winning the treble, including the Champions League, was an extraordinary turn of events, even though, the high quality squad that he had. And I don't think you can argue too much about Robert Lewandowski winning the Player of the Year. I think that was widely expected, ahead of Kevin De Bruyne and Manuel Neuer, who were the other contenders. And I suppose there'll be a tinge of disappointment, I would have thought, for Lucy Bronze not winning the women's award ahead of Pernilla Harder. But it's all of these awards are very subjective, aren't they?
Absolutely. Quick comment on social media from Dan Martins. Tough draws for United, but also Liverpool, Atalanta and Leipzig are no joke. Well, of course we will have updates and commentary from the Champions League once we know what those fixtures eventually are. As Ian says, still to be confirmed. Quarter-finals day in the Vitality T20 Blast, the cricket season heading into October. Surrey, Lancashire and Gloucestershire have already confirmed their places on finals day on Saturday. And Notts Outlaws now taking on the Leicestershire Foxes to book the final spot. Commentary over on Sports Extra right now. And Kevin Howells is watching this one. How's it going?
1 over remaining of the third over. The Outlaws reply, chasing down what looks to be potentially a tricky score of 140. Looks even trickier now as Hales has lost his wicket. Gone for 9. He's been bowled by the beautiful bowling of the spinner Callum Parkinson. The end of his second over. So Hales has gone for only 9. The Outlaws are 19 for 1 after 3 overs, chasing down 140. Much needed runs from Colin Ackerman during the Foxes innings of 43, and then impressive from Harry Swindles as well. 8 boundaries in his 58 to give the Foxes some hope. It's Nottinghamshire, though, who should fancy their chances chasing down this target. They're 19 for 1 now in the 15th over. They need 140 to book a place at Birmingham at the weekend.
And full coverage, of course, on finals day over on 5 Live Sports Extra. There's one game in Rugby League Super League tonight. Castleford Tigers against Hull FC. And Matt Newsom will be watching this one, Matt.
Yeah, these are two teams who would fancy at the start of this really truncated campaign that they would have been in and amongst the sides pushing for a place at Old Trafford at the end of the season. Certainly hasn't worked out that way. They're down in 7th and 8th, identical records. We're down to points percentage now in terms of deciding the campaign. They're on 41.67. The big boys are up in the 60s and 70s, so they've got work to do. Tonight is a big game for both. Neither are in the Challenge Cup. They've both fielded a reasonably strong side. The winner of this one will certainly leapfrog the other in terms of that pushing for that top 4 spot, but even at this stage with a good 10 games to go, it might be beyond both of them. But should be a good one. Castleford against Hull FC. Kick-off is at 7:45.
Other sports headlines this evening. Champion jockey Oisin Murphy says he'll fight to clear his name after returning a positive test for cocaine in France back in July. We'll speak to our racing commentator John Hunt at half-time about that story. The England centre Manu Tuilagi has been ruled out for 6 months with a torn Achilles tendon. He'll miss England's remaining 2020 Six Nations game with Italy and possibly the entire 2021 tournament. Tuilagi will also be unavailable for the Autumn Nations Cup, which starts in November. At the French Open, world number 1 Novak Djokovic booked his place place in the third round with a straight sets win over Ricardas Berankis in 1 hour and 23 minutes. There were also wins for Stefanos Tsitsipas, Petra Kvitova and 2017 champion Yelena Ostapenko. Rafael Nadal, Dominic Thiem and Simona Halep will be in action tomorrow. Commentary on 5 Live Sports Extra from midday. So we are about 6-7 minutes away from kick-off at Anfield, Liverpool against Arsenal. Let's get an update from Villa Park, Aston Villa against Stoke. Tom Gale.
38 minutes gone, Ali. Aston Villa 0, Stoke City 1. The visitors have grown into the game. Happy for Villa to see plenty of the ball and then hit them on the counter. Sam Vokes' lovely near-post header was much that they deserved. The warning signs have been there. Villa have tried to play out from the back. Tyrese Campbell catching them out on a number of occasions. They should have been level, though. Henry Lansbury's 6-yard header closer to the corner flag than goal. It's Aston Villa 0, Stoke City 1.
So 8 o'clock kick-off between Spurs and Maccabi Haifa. That's the qualifying playoffs for the Europa League, so playing for a place in the group stages of that competition. Also, Celtic in action against Sarajevo. That is still goalless. That was a 7 o'clock kick-off. And Rangers and Galatasaray kick-off at 7:45 at Ibrox. We'll bring you updates on all of those scores during our commentary game. It is, of course, Liverpool against Arsenal. Different competition, same teams. John Murray, Stephen Warnock, your commentary team at Anfield this evening. John, this is the most played tie in League Cup history.
Well,
I was reading.
Well, fancy that.
I think 16 times.
Well, and I hope it's as exciting as the game was this time last season when it finished 5-5. It toed and froed one way and the other, and in the end it was won in a penalty shootout when, if you remember, Curtis Jones scored the winning penalty, which started off quite a breakthrough season for him. But you know, I think there's certainly an element of familiarity that I think we have to consider. It is, not only it's the second time this week, it's actually the third time this season they've played each other because, of course, they played in the Community Shield as well. But I think what's interesting tonight is the fact that it looks as though Mikel Arteta is saying, right, it's going to be a back four tonight.
Stephen, when you play a team, the same team twice in the space of a few days, does it feel any different? What kind of mood do you have when you go into a game like this when, as John said, third time this season they're playing each other?
It will be different because of the team lineups. If both teams were going as strong as they could, it would feel a little bit strange, but you would review the game and see with the mistakes that you've made. I would have thought, well, I can see from the formation that Mikel Arteta that we feel he's going to go with, is that he's learnt from his mistakes and they're not going to play out from the back as much as they would and leave themselves open for balls to be played down the side of the back three. So there is little things that you can look at, and I'm sure Mikel Arteta will have learnt a lot from the game against Liverpool on Monday night.
A few comments on social media about the selections. Ethan says, I'm all for winning every trophy, but playing both Virgil van Dijk and Salah is a massive risk. Will says, so glad to see Harry Wilson get a start tonight. I hope he takes this big opportunity. Ashley, looking at the Arsenal lineup, surprising not to see William Saliba in there, given his apparent potential and talent. Would have expected to see him feature in some capacity by now. And Tom says, I'm excited for this team tonight. Can't see us keeping a clean sheet. But I can't see Liverpool doing that either. Surely not another 5-5. Well, you had 9 games to commentate on last Thursday night, John. Do you think it could be similar tonight?
I don't know. I think if they play as well, the two of them, because I saw both of their matches in the League Cup last midweek, when Liverpool were impressive on the Thursday night, scoring 7. But I thought the Arsenal side were very impressive the night before at Leicester as well, when they showed a real hunger about them. So, there aren't too many changes from those two starting lineups. So I think if we get a similar approach, it should be a decent game.
Defensively, Stephen, who is likely to be the stronger, would you say? Bearing in mind that last comment from Tom.
I think you have to look at Liverpool, just with the purely with the influence of Virgil van Dijk being at the back. He's the biggest leader on the pitch. I think Arsenal have improved defensively, collectively as a team, but I still think that Liverpool are going to cause them a lot of problems tonight. Saying that, Arsenal are more than capable of causing Liverpool problems.
Well, I'm kind of imagining the Kop swaying at the moment, John Murray. I know it's not happening, But you can bring us commentary on what's always a great tie. Liverpool against Arsenal in the EFL Cup for a place in the quarterfinals. It's John and Stephen Warnock.
Yes, thank you very much, Ellie. The teams are out there, and actually referee Kevin Friend has only just now called the two captains into the centre circle. So James Milner has trotted forward, Granit Xhaka as well. And then they return to their positions. So I'll run you through the teams before we get underway. Liverpool with Adrian in goal, Nico Williams, Reece Williams, so home debut for him, Virgil van Dijk and James Milner. In midfield, Marco Grujic with Curtis Jones and Harry Wilson, who makes his first start for Liverpool, the Welsh international. And then Mohamed Salah starting in the League Cup for Liverpool for the first time, Takumi Minamino and Diogo Jota, who makes his full debut for Liverpool. And the Arsenal side, Leno in goal. At the back, Cedric Suarez, Rob Holding, Gabriel, Sead Kolasinac, Joe Willock, Danny Ceballos and Granit Xhaka, Nicolas Pepe, Eddie Nketiah and Bukayo Saka. There is the whistle from the referee, and the players drop down onto the knee to give a nod to the Black Lives Matter movement, and then up they get on this beautifully clear autumn night, and Arsenal get us underway. Just like Monday night, Liverpool in the almost all red kit with the white trim, and Arsenal in their cream-coloured shirts with the sort of raspberry ripple effect on them, the maroon shorts and the cream socks. A beautifully clear evening, Stephen Warnock. A lovely sunny autumnal afternoon, and we're into October now, and we have a magnificent moon away over the top of the Sir Kenny Dalglish Sand, a full pinkish moon. And because we're in October, that means it's a harvest moon.
And what a knowledge, John.
Well, it was Juliet actually who told me. As Liverpool fire the ball long forward and it bounces through to goalkeeper Leno, who comes out towards the penalty spot. Juliet told me, but we should have known that. Should have known that into October, full moon.
Well, John, I have to say you sounded very, very intelligent for all of 10-15 seconds, and I was hugely impressed.
Credit where credit's due. Ball's out of play. Just wondering, from an Arsenal point of view, is this definitely a back four that we're seeing? It looks like it just as they are lining up at the moment, but actually as Cedric Suarez makes a move down the right, does actually look more like three central defenders, doesn't it? Just keep an eye on that. Arsenal pressing Liverpool. Here's Van Dijk, who plays it out to Milner, way down below us. We're on the main stand side of the ground, high in the top tier of the relatively new stand still. Van Dijk playing the ball across the edge of the penalty area to Reece Williams, who we saw make his debut last week, the 19-year-old, when Liverpool scored those 7 goals against Lincoln City. And here now is Curtis Jones, who scored 2 goals that night. On the right-hand side, Salah, Mo Salah. Didn't expect to see him involved at all. Salah starting the match. Neither Firmino nor Mane are involved in the 18 tonight. No Aubameyang for Arsenal. He's not in the 18, as was the case last week. And also, we should say, no Mesut Ozil or Matteo Guendouzi. But no surprise there either. Ball played down the right. Nico Williams, it bounces up actually and strikes his arm. And that is a handball we can all agree with. And it's a free kick to Arsenal halfway inside their own half.
Yeah, just going back to that formation, John, that you mentioned. They are starting as a 4, and then when the ball gets released to either fullback, either Milner or Williams on the right-hand side, the left-sided fullback, which is Kolasinac, will release himself onto Williams. Cedric Suarez will release himself onto James Milner.
As Arsenal fire it forward, Milner gets his head to it, and Joe Willock puts in the challenge, and the ball bounces out of play for a throw into Liverpool inside their own half. So it is Liverpool against Arsenal. This is the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. This is the last of the matches this midweek to get underway. Fulham already knocked out tonight, judging by what John Southall was saying, who was there for the match. Brentford worthy winners 3-0, so Brentford are through into the last 8. It's to draw later on this evening, as soon as this match is over. And currently Stoke City are winning 1-0 at Villa Park in the 7 o'clock kickoff against Aston Villa. Liverpool go there this weekend in the Premier League. James Milner playing the ball centrally. Takumi Minamino, who's also scored a couple of goals last Thursday night, gives it to Nico Williams. His cross into the penalty area. It's cleared away near the penalty spot by Gabriel, and then the ball bounces forward for Joe Willock to take it over the halfway line. Joe Willock in control of the ball. Scored a fine goal here in the 5-5. That was quite a night, wasn't it, that 5-5 at this stage of the competition last season?
Yeah, phenomenal game, and hopefully we see something similar tonight. We want to see goals, we want to see end-to-end action, Again, looking at Arsenal's team, we thought Saka would play as a 3 up top. It's actually Joe Willock who's took up that position. Saka is playing as the left-sided midfielder of the 3.
Milner spreads a high pass from the halfway line just in front of Jurgen Klopp. He was aiming for Nico Williams, but Kolasinac was able to move into position and head it away quite easily. In the first half, Liverpool are attacking towards the Anfield Road end, the empty Anfield Road end, and Arsenal playing the ball out from the back. Bernd Leno. And out it comes to Cedric Soares, who's making his first appearance. He's had a calf injury, Cedric Soares, the Portuguese international. He came on as a substitute in the Community Shield, but hasn't played since. And it's out for a throw into Arsenal just inside the Liverpool half. Mentioned the fact that Stoke were winning 1-0 at Aston Villa. Tom Gale's there.
Half-time, John. Aston Villa 0, Stoke City 1. The visitors made 8 changes, plenty of youth, and they played some lovely stuff. Sam Vokes' 26th minute near post header, giving them a deserved lead. 4 goals in his last 5 appearances of this competition. Villa and their 11 changes, just wasteful in front of goal. Both Henry Lansbury and Keenan Davies failing to convert from close range. Half-time, Villa 0, Stoke 1.
That's a 7 o'clock kickoff. So is Celtic's match against FK Sarajevo, and that is half-time, and it's 0-0. That is in the Europa League playoff ties. We'll be keeping you across the Rangers match against Galatasaray at Ibrox as well, and then Tottenham against Maccabi Haifa, which starts at 8 o'clock. We've talked a great deal on the programme tonight on 5 Live Sport about the Champions League draw. The Europa League group stage draw is tomorrow morning as Liverpool play the ball across their back line, but Van Dijk was quickly in ahead of Willock and able to clear it away downfield towards the halfway line, and Ceballos has it. Ceballos, who had Minamino behind him, does well, weaves his way out towards the far side, and then Xhaka chips across here to the chest of Cedric Soares. Arsenal playing it infield towards Willock, nicely done, but then just loses possession of it as the challenge came in from Jones, and it bounced through to goalkeeper Adrian down in front of the Kop. The group stage draw late tomorrow morning, so we'll have news of that for you on 5 Live, the Europa League draw, which will obviously involve Arsenal and Leicester City as well. So that is in the morning. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 here tonight. Pepe on the left-hand side into the penalty area, takes on Williams, gets the ball in, but it's blocked at the near post by Reece Williams, who's able to clear it, but it's won back by Saka on the left-hand side. Saka with Pepe. Pepe drops a shoulder, then he drops the other shoulder, and then I thought he might have been fouled there as the challenge came in on him from Minamino. No free kick, and then Salah back inside his own defensive third. Liverpool nick it back, but then Xhaka wins possession back for Arsenal. 0-0. Stephen Warnock.
Really good start to the game. Arsenal grown into it. Ceballos has just shown some lovely touches in the middle of midfield. We obviously saw the game the other night against the 2 teams, and it was Ceballos. Oh, sorry, John, they're in.
That's a cracking ball from Xhaka down the left-hand side for Pepe. Pepe into the penalty area, pulls it back. It's found its way to the back post. Nketiah with a chance. Adrian goes down, gets a hand to it. That was so important. And then Cedric Soares, arriving inside the penalty area, lifts his shot high over the top of the crossbar. But it seemed almost certain that Arsenal would take the lead there. An important interception from Adrian against Nketiah.
Well, he was so quick off his line. He just read the danger straight away, knew he had to get to the feet of Nketiah and smother him, but gets really close, and he makes Nketiah make the first move, drops down to his left-hand side and just flicks it away from him. Really smart goalkeeping, but the move initially from Pepe is superb. It's that drop of the shoulder, it's a run in behind the high line that Liverpool like to play, but it was a run from deep from Nicolas Pepe that caused all the problems.
Yeah, it was, and the well-timed pass from Xhaka just played it into the space, really. And here is Xhaka winning the ball back again, and Leno comes out to just to the left of the penalty spot to clear it away towards the halfway line. Do you know, as we continue to look at it, Stephen, it does look more like a 3-4-3 that Arsenal are playing. But I suppose the surprise in that is that it is, as you said, Saka as the left-sided midfielder of the 3, and the fact that Willock is furthest forward on the right-hand side up front. 0-0 here, and here is Saka now in the England squad, Gareth Southgate's England squad. Nice flick from Willock. Now Cedric Suarez tries to give it back to Willock, but James Milner nipped in, and Liverpool have got the ball back and are bringing it away towards the halfway line. We're going to go to the Women's FA Cup semi-final in the moment, but Liverpool continuing to come forward. Ball's found its way to the right-hand side to Nico Williams. Nico Williams just leaves it for Salah, then a touch back to Curtis Jones, and then Liverpool go back into their own half. So the latest on Manchester City Arsenal in the Women's FA Cup semi-final from Betty Glover.
Yeah, it's Manchester City 1, Arsenal 1. It was Jordan Nobbs with a brilliant goal. It was slowly coming for Arsenal, but it does look like City have just scored. I actually can't really tell you who scored, but it looks like it's Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1.
Good stuff, Betty. We'll come back to you on that. You can watch that now live on BBC Two, also on the iPlayer. So Manchester City 2-1 up on Arsenal for the right to play Everton. Lots of live sport around the place tonight, as well as the football, the cricket, the fourth of the quarter-finals in the T20. That is over on 5 Live Sports Extra right now on your digital radio. Here's Minamino on the edge of the area, plays it square, and then Curtis Jones is able to hold off the challenge that comes in from Kolasinac. Here's Salah on the right-hand side, waiting for the run of Nico Williams. Played the ball. Saka went with him. The ball bounces away off the Arsenal youngster, Saka, and behind for the first corner of the match to Liverpool.
Good spell from Liverpool. The best passing moment of the game. They managed to string a few passes together, but Arsenal have actually made the clearer cut chances so far in this game, and Liverpool having to find the way back into it themselves.
And Harry Wilson is going to take the corner from the far side, the 23-year-old who's finally making his first start for the Liverpool first team. Here it is, into the near post, and a near post flick which took it high over the top corner and behind for what referee friend says was an Arsenal deflection. Grujic it was who was there for Liverpool, but it came off an Arsenal head, and it's another corner from the other side. So James Milner is going to take this one. Milner just taking one of the balls from the cones down in front of the Anfield Road end, raises his left arm. Milner plays it into the 6-yard box, where goalkeeper Leno comes and gets a punch to clear it away out of the penalty area. Back to Liverpool. Jones plays it into the box. Now on the left-hand side, the ball's played across, and in the middle, Minamino. It came at him very quickly from the cross from Jota on the left side of the penalty area, and he could only steer it rather hurriedly wide at the post.
It's actually Grujic, John, and I think that's why the finish has ended up where it's finished. Great work from Curtis Jones on the left-hand side. He feeds it into Jota, who makes an intelligent run in between the full-back and the centre-back. Lovely weighted pass, and then he pulls it back, and Grujic it comes off his heel, doesn't quite make the connection. I think if it falls to Minamino, I think you're looking at a different end result. An opportunity for Liverpool, well carved out.
Yeah, Marko Grujic, who in these Carabao Cup ties last week and this week. So we were mentioning last week when we were at Lincoln, it was Grujic's first appearance for Liverpool since 2017, and he impressed that night, and here he is starting at Anfield in the competition. So Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Missed an opportunity there though, Grujic. So it remains 0-0. Let's go back to the semi-final and Betty Glover.
Yeah, it's Manchester City 1, Arsenal 2. I've got my binoculars out now, John, sorted myself out. It was new signing USA Sam Mewis that put City back in front. She's been threatening this whole game. That was just moments after Arsenal equalised with a goal from Jordan Nobbs. So it's Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1. I'll get there eventually, but this game has just started getting going.
Lovely, thank you, Betty. And it is 0-0 here, and a goal kick for Arsenal that Leno plays out to Xhaka, then gets back in the 6-yard box, and here we see Arsenal again passing the ball around the Liverpool press and actually making good ground with it, but then actually in centre field it's lost by Nketiah. Liverpool are back onto it. Minamino puts in the challenge, and then Minamino is penalised for the second challenge, and there's high fives all around from the Arsenal players.
Yeah, they love trying to play out from the back. It's something that Mikel Arteta is desperately trying to instill into them, no matter what the cost is. But like in the Premier League game on Monday night, they only get to the halfway point of their own half, and then they struggle to get beyond that Liverpool press that we know so impressive. And again, it's happened.
In fact, Wilson charged down the ball, and so Jones played it across the box, and he's holding his head, Curtis Jones, that he wasn't able to find Salah on the far side of the penalty area. The pass was misplaced. Arsenal have got it back. Here they come, Mikel Arteta's side, with Nketiah in the centre circle. 2 goals in his last 3 appearances. Scored the clinching second goal against Leicester last Wednesday night in the third round of the competition. Liverpool, though, coming forward again. High tempo this is in the opening 15 minutes of the match, and the ball is back with Van Dijk back in central defence. Starting again for Liverpool, Van Dijk started every match, all 6 in all competitions, the only one to do so for Liverpool this season. Jota plays it forward, and then there's a little coming together between Jota and Ceballos, and that was after the ball had been played away, and Ceballos has gone down holding the side of his head. He stayed down. Arsenal have continued coming forward. Another Arsenal player has ended up on the ground, and referee Kevin Friend has got his yellow card out to show to Minamino.
Yeah, that was a tackle on Saka as he ran away. That was the second challenge that he's being penalised for. The incident with Jota was off the ball. It was an incident where Ceballos went down. He's having a go at the 4th official down in front of us. He's not happy at all. He just tries to block the run of Jota, and Jota just gives him a shove in the back. There's nothing in it, really.
He did go down clutching his head, but that's a yellow card for Minamino. Should remind everybody, Stephen, there's no VAR in the Carabao Cup. The EFL have said that they don't want it used because of the situation whereby it couldn't be used on smaller grounds and could be used in certain matches, so therefore it's not being used at all. And actually Kevin Friend has called across here James Milner and Xhaka, the 2 captains, as well as Jota and Ceballos. So Kevin Friend knows something has happened there, and he's just having a word, and he's just trying to calm things down. I thought there was a little edge, wasn't there, the other evening on Monday night in the match, not least the Mane Tierney coming together. Free kick for Arsenal then on the left, played back to the halfway lines, flags up, Cedric Suarez plays it in, ball ends up in the back of the Liverpool net, but the whistle had long gone for the free kick.
It's a foul by Xhaka. They tried to block Grujic. The ball is played over the top of Curtis Jones, but they block Grujic, and it leads to a foul, but it's to free up the run of Cedric Suarez, who runs deep. Liverpool play this high line, and teams have really cottoned onto it, that they need to have runners from midfield to capitalise on that, and they just tried to block it. Good spot from the linesman down in front of us.
Yeah, very good spot. Stephen Warnock, the former Liverpool and England full-back. And we're sitting here at Anfield watching Arsenal come forward. Reece Williams, little deflection, and then the ball is taken away by Nico Williams. So Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. First goal of the night in the Tottenham Maccabi Haifa Europa League playoff tie. Mark Scott.
We've been talking about him a lot today, and Harry Kane has put the ball in the net for Tottenham. Really good start from Spurs, seen plenty of the ball, high intensity. Davis and Bergwijn combined, and Harry Kane from about 6 yards out put it into the roof of the net. Spurs 1, Maccabi Haifa 0.
Still Rangers 0, Galatasaray 0, FK Sarajevo 0, Celtic 0. In one of the other cup matches tonight, the Carabao Cup matches, Stoke City 1-0 up at Aston Villa, and if you just switched on, Brentford 3-0 winners against Fulham earlier. Arsenal coming forward 0-0 here at Anfield, and Arsenal with Pepe on the left hand side, then Xhaka knocks it back for Kolasinac, who has to sprint after it towards the halfway line. He knew Salah wasn't far away, but he's been able to retrieve the ball, turn. Now it's played down the left hand side for Saka, but the offside flag is up against the Arsenal number 7, and it's a free kick for Liverpool. And of course, Stephen, with no VAR, the assistants can flag as early as they like, I presume.
Which is what I really like, John. I enjoy that rule. I get frustrated with the offside rule. See, plenty of incidents over the weekend where the flag was left down. They know it's offside. They wait as long as possible. I keep on waiting for a clash, an injury to happen before this rule is changed, because it's just beyond me why it happens.
I don't think it will be changed, Stephen. That is,
I'm going to start a petition, John.
Well,
now I think the players are really going to be frustrated, because it only takes one injury for it to really frustrate other managers as well. There's a real good battle out on the pitch at the moment, and it's Pepe. Oh, I'm just going to let you carry on here, John.
Yeah, because Liverpool are coming forward down the left-hand side with Curtis Jones, then Salah into Minamino inside the penalty area, tried to give it back to Salah, and there were defenders in there, and they've done their job, just managed to shield the ball back to Leno inside the 6-yard box.
Yeah, really good defending. They just sensed the danger, knew that Salah had that pace, so the covering defender got round. Gabriel read the situation really well. But just going back to the point I was saying, Pepe's gone and stood on Nico Williams on that right-hand side. He knows he's got the beating of him, so he just keeps on pulling in between the two inexperienced players on the park. Doesn't want to come on to this side in between Milner and Van Dijk, because he knows he can't outrun Van Dijk. He knows that Milner's experienced, so he's gone out onto that his left-hand side, the right-hand side of Liverpool, and he's looked so dangerous every time he's picked the ball up.
And listen, as well, for Nico Williams, it's 0-0. Arsenal win a free kick just inside their own half. You know, there's been such a lot of talk about Nico Williams that, you know, after the match at Lincoln last Thursday night, the fact that, you know, he received all of this criticism, which is, I mean, I found remarkable, having watched the game that night, that he was so clearly, so bitterly criticised.
Beyond me, John. Social media at its worst for me. The way the players deal with that at such a young age now, coming into the game, trying to make their way in the game, must be very difficult, but they put themselves on that platform. They are left open for criticism, but you have to take it with a pinch of salt. You have to be thick-skinned.
Yep, so therefore, big night from tonight in the context of that. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. We're going back to Manchester City, Arsenal in the Women's FA Cup semi-final. Betty Glover.
Yeah, it's half-time here. Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1. City just edging it. Captain Steph Houghton opened the scoring with a well-taken free kick. Jordan Nobbs then equalised for Arsenal. It was an absolute worldie, to be fair, but it was City's new signing and USA World Cup winner, Sam Mewis, that got her side back in the lead just before the break. And remember, you can watch it over on BBC 2. It's Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1.
And one match in the Super League tonight. Matt Newsom.
Lead Hull FC by 12 points to 6. They went to try down Cam Scott finishing off in the corner, but a quick fire brace. Mike McMeekin and then Greg Eden put away down the left hand side have turned this game back in the home side's favour. Quarter of an hour gone. Castleford Tigers 12, Hull FC 6.
Arsenal on the breakaway over the top down the right hand side, but James Milner did his job against Joe Willock and was able to deflect the ball out of play for a throw to Arsenal. Way down below us on the right hand side, Cedric Suarez is going to take it. Cameraman trots up the touchline to make sure that he's in the right place behind, with that camera on the tripod that they carry, and then he scurries away back down towards the corner flag. Ball out for another throw to Arsenal. Suarez to take this, and Cedric Suarez just takes it short towards Willock, who rather threw himself to the ground against Grujic, who has conceded the free kick. Arsenal free kick.
I just wonder whether Arsenal will look to shift this ball again, putting it into, looking for that third man runner from midfield to break that line of Liverpool. Whether Liverpool will have learned from it, but clever from Joe Willock. Knew he wasn't going to be able to get himself out of that situation, receiving the ball from the thrower. Liverpool need to switch on here because they're outnumbered on this left-hand side, 3v1. Mo Salah's just recognised it.
Free kick then, which is scooped towards the edge of the penalty area by Ceballos, and then he's challenged, but in the challenge he's actually caught Harry Wilson, who's ended up down on the ground, and he's putting his forearm to his head, took a bang in the face. He's okay, he's back on his feet, but he's still rubbing away at the maybe on the nose, something like that. And Liverpool take the free kick quickly. Saka knocks it out for a throw to Liverpool on the far side. So 0-0 here at Anfield. Back to the Tottenham Stadium. Mark Scott.
Maccabi Haifa close to an equaliser here, John. Sharon Sherry, a former QPR player, with a cracking effort from just outside the area, and Joe Hart did ever so well, flinging himself across to his left to tip it over the crossbar. Good chance and a good response from the Israelis. Spurs 1, Maccabi Haifa 0.
Old habits die hard, Stephen. I still want to say White Hart Lane. Here is Wilson down the left-hand side for Liverpool, plays it forward, but off the right shin of Ceballos, who's standing next to the line, and it's out of play for a Liverpool throw that Milner will take at close quarters. He does to Grujic, who plays it back. James Milner is wanting the ball back. He's saying that it's Liverpool's throw. Arsenal are saying that it went straight out of play off Milner. Eventually, the assistant on the halfway line, after some delay, indicates that he thinks it's a throw into Liverpool.
Look who he's stuck closest to,
He's
John.
standing next to Jurgen Klopp as well.
He must have got an earful.
Yes, fancy that. I'm sure that was a complete coincidence. Ball comes back to Rhys Williams. As we said last week, great experience for Rhys Williams, the 19-year-old. He's from the northwest of England, born in Preston, England under-18 international, to come into the first team and play alongside Virgil van Dijk for the second time on a second consecutive Thursday night. And he plays the ball forward towards Wilson, left-footed ball into the box. That's headed away by Kolasinac, hooked back in by Salah, then nodded back by Kolasinac into the hands of goalkeeper Leno, and it's still 0-0.
And Arsenal just setting up again to play out from the back. They do this so well to a certain point, but they're persistent with it. I like that they don't go away from it to a... Well, I say I like it to a certain extent, John.
As a defender, Saka then just overruns the ball on the halfway line. It's played forward by Nico Williams. Of course, 2 Williams in the Liverpool starting lineup. Nico Williams. Then Jones comes in with the challenge, but he had 2 Arsenal players there with him, both Pepe and Saka. Then the ball's played over the top for the run of Saka down the left-hand side. He's got some space in the Liverpool right-back area, sets himself. Here's the cross to the near post, and then Rhys Williams drops to his knees to head it away. Arsenal come at Liverpool again. Saka, nice flick, takes it on. He's claiming that he was being pulled back by Nico Williams. Referee friend says goal kick only.
Well, I can see why Bakary Saka is so frustrated. You look at Saka there, he gets away from Nico Williams and he just gets his shirt tugged. For me, it is a foul. Nico Williams is fortunate to get away with that because Saka was away. He was causing problems.
Worthy of his place in the England squad, Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, sorry, I called him Bakary Saka, didn't I?
Yeah, well,
apologies.
Easily done.
Yeah, no, I think he is. I think I've been hugely impressed with him, not just this season. Last season, his versatility. Playing at left-back, he looks so comfortable. Even in the midfield role now, he drives forward so well. Defensively, attacking-wise, he's well-balanced as a player. I think it's a great addition, and I think he'll add a lot to the England squad over the next coming few years.
Yep, if he's able to continue the promise that he's shown last season, his breakthrough season, when he actually started 29 matches for Arsenal last season, and obviously Mikel Arteta liked the cut of his jib, was very much part of the setup there, and I actually, Stephen, thought that he might have been in the England squad last month. Instead, he was in the under-21s, played in the matches under Eddie Boothroyd, and now after that, he's in the senior squad for these matches.
I agree, John. I actually thought he would have been in it, and I was quite disappointed he wasn't, because I thought the form that he showed stepping into the Arsenal team and the progress that Arsenal have made, I thought it warranted a call up to the England squad, but now he's got it. Hopefully he takes his chance.
Yes, particularly when there wasn't a left back in the squad last month, certainly initially. Here's Salah playing the ball over the top into the penalty area. It's headed away, comes out to Milner. Milner's ball across the box came off Ceballos. That's hooked away out of the penalty area, and then Van Dijk over the top of Nketiah, and then there's a coming together centre field. Nketiah was on the way to the ground when the challenge came in on him from, is that Wilson again?
Yeah, it is Harry Wilson, yeah. He's in the wars tonight.
He is, and he's been caught there. And it's a free kick to Liverpool before they take this. Let's nip back to Villa Park and Tom Gale approaching.
That seems a good deal to me.
Yeah, Everton spending again, and but he's a good age, Ben Godfrey, and another promising young English player in an area where England are not the strongest. So it'll be interesting to see what his progress is under Carlo Ancelotti.
A lot of the players that have worked under Ancelotti have improved, haven't they? I think you see that over the years, the clubs that he's been at. I think he is one of those managers that top players or players are desperate to work with, because they want to work with the best managers in world football, and Ancelotti definitely falls under that bracket.
Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. BBC Radio 5 live from Anfield. Just a little bit of a chill in the air on this October evening. There's been quite a lot of decent play in between the penalty areas, but very few chances so far. Eddie Nketiah, who was almost in when Adrian came out and got a hand to it, and then the opportunity for Grujic. He also had the header over, didn't he, at the near post from the corner, which was deflected over. Other than that,
it's been a game of chess, John, in the middle, sort of jostling for tactical positions in the middle. I looked at Liverpool's midfield last week at Lincoln, and they dominated midfield. We understand why, because of the golfing class. Today, Arsenal's midfield have got up in the faces. They've pressed really well, and that's what they've done really well tonight. Foul by Rob Holding, not letting players spin away, not letting them hit that big diagonal pass to get them out. Sensible play from Arsenal.
Yeah, Rob Holding with the little foul 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. Liverpool fire it forward and then back into the Liverpool half. He's another one, Rob Holding, I thought might have had a little sniff for the England squad today. I mean, it is a 30-man England squad that Gareth Southgate has named today because of the 3 internationals that are coming up, and I'm sure there'll be a great deal of talk about whether there is actually a need for the friendly against Wales, which I'm sure most will feel is very debatable. But I think it's all about fulfilling the matches under the broadcasting contracts, which is so much a thing at the moment.
Well, the players who have come into the squad, John, if they get a cap, they won't be complaining.
Nope, they won't. As Curtis Jones brings it forward towards the edge of the penalty area for Liverpool. Salah's on his left foot. Salah trying to lift the ball into the penalty area, couldn't lift it over. Kolasinac got his head to it. Nico Williams with the ball on the right-hand side. Jones again, Curtis Jones. He's another one who can't be a million miles away from the England squad. Curtis Jones, I'm sure Gareth Southgate will want to see him play more regularly, though, and for the first team. Here's Milner on the left-hand side. Milner back to Harry Wilson, who's in the Welsh squad for that friendly against England. You'll hear that. You'll hear all 3 England games here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Ball on the right with Salah, who's dropped deep. And then the challenge comes in on him from Pepe. Ball bounces away into the centre circle. And there has been another goal at Tottenham. Mark Scott.
And it is now 1-1. They had a warning from Charon Sherry, and he's now put the ball in the net from distance. Davinson Sanchez gave it away sloppily, and Sherry from 30 yards out rifled it into the top corner. Spurs 1, Maccabi Haifa 1.
Yeah, these Europa League playoffs are one-off ties, so they have to be decided tonight. There could be extra time and penalties in those. Still Rangers 0, Galatasaray 0. Still FK Sarajevo 0, Celtic 0. Just got a stoppage in play here at Anfield at the moment. And just to remind you, if you have somehow been able to avoid the Carabao Cup ties over the last 4 midweeks, that these matches would be penalties if it's level after 90 minutes. And that would be the case in the quarterfinals as well. The semi-finals will be single matches this season, not 2 legs. And in answer to the question, I think it was you asking me, was it last week that in actual fact one of the teams will be at home in the semi-finals. Whoever's drawn first in the semi-finals will be at home. And Arsenal being pressed by Liverpool. Nketiah plays it back to the edge of the penalty area. Xhaka is put under pressure, and Jones, but Xhaka does well, plays it to Ceballos, who rather hurriedly plays it back, and there's a header across his own penalty area. Jota was almost in. Holding came across with an important challenge. Then Kolasinac in strongly on Minamino, but the ball has run for Liverpool. And now 30 yards out, a low shot from the angle from Curtis Jones, but it's straight at Leno, who's able to gather the ball into his midriff.
It's just dangerous play again from Arsenal. They get caught out. Liverpool hurry them into a mistake, and a poor header from Kolasinac, and Jota's on it like a flash. He's fortunate that Gabriel read the situation, read the danger.
Free kick after another little foul, centre field by Harry Wilson, so it's an Arsenal free kick just inside their own territory. Cedric Suarez made a run. Ceballos didn't play the ball, and then backpedals, plays the ball out to Pepe on the left-hand side. Pepe away past Nico Williams, flick from Saka. Pepe very nearly onto that. An important challenge which came in from Marko Grujic on the edge of the penalty area. Otherwise he would have been in.
He did have to make the tackle, and he had to time it perfectly, and didn't he just? Because it was a great run from Pepe. I've said before, he looks so lively, he just toe ends it away from two players, and he has looked the sharpest player on the pitch tonight. Lovely skills again, just there, just flicking it round the corner. He looks like the man on form. If you're an Arsenal player, get the ball to him.
Yes, and this Arsenal performance very much like the one that this or a similar team put in at Leicester last week. Here's Milner on the left-hand side, going back to Tottenham in a moment or two, but Liverpool are on the attack. Milner gets it back on the left wing, back onto his right foot, thought about the cross, plays it back to Jota, who's dropped very deep out of the penalty area, but Jota now with a run into the box, scooped forward by Salah, headed down, and then clearance by Ceballos. So back to Tottenham and Mark Scott.
And Tottenham are back in front, John. Lucas Moura with a very clever near-post header from Steven Bergwijn's corner. Poor marking from Maccabi Haifa, but still work to do for the Brazilian, and he did it brilliantly. Spurs 2, Maccabi Haifa 1, and we've only played 20 minutes.
Yeah, still Rangers 0, Galatasaray 0 in the 7:45 kick-off. Still 0-0 in Celtic's match against the Bosnia and Herzegovina champions FK Sarajevo in the Balkans. And by the way, we are on the red button tonight. You can listen alongside the final score graphics and the video printer to our 5 live commentary on this match, Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 in the Carabao Cup, by pressing the red button on your television, or by watching the BBC iPlayer, or via the BBC Sport app. Just click on 5 live final score. Throw in for Liverpool down the left-hand side in front of the main stand here. Mikel Arteta dressed again in black as he was the other evening. Here is Eddie Nketiah back towards Willock on the halfway line. Willock forced by Jota to take the ball back centrally, and then it's played forward by Xhaka, but he was put under pressure by Minamino, so Liverpool have won possession back. Now Curtis Jones looks to his left. Milner arrives, playing at left back tonight. Milner then flips it back to Jones. Milner gets it on his right foot, uses Van Dijk in the centre circle. Van Dijk then switches play, hits a pass that rolls across the surface of Anfield to Nico Williams. Now Salah on the right-hand side. Saka has gone with Mo Salah. Nico Williams receives it from Mo Salah, and then Liverpool go back centrally towards Van Dijk, who's forward and left of the centre circle now. Milner receives possession on the left-hand side. Milner's up against Cedric Suarez. Little ball in field, touch from Jota, then back to Curtis Jones. Jota again. Minamino central. Grujic comes in with a challenge on the edge of the area. Lots of Arsenal players behind the ball. Liverpool putting pressure on the Arsenal defence here. Then on the left-hand side now with Curtis Jones. Jones goes one way, then the other against Willock. Then Rabona-style cross is blocked by the Arsenal defender, and it comes back for Arsenal to whack it away downfield and relieve that pressure that Liverpool put on them there.
Curtis Jones is getting a glare from Jurgen Klopp. It was an opportunity just to fizz the ball across with his left foot. Tries the Rabona-style cross, which I don't think is necessary, because it was a great opening. The first initial chop from him with his right foot, shows it onto his left foot. He's clear, he's got plenty of room. That's a poor side of the game that you don't want to see at someone so young. Yes, he's got a lot of skill, but the ideal ball was to fizz it hard and low with his left foot across the 6-yard box.
I think that might get mentioned later by the manager.
Well, he shook his head straight away. As soon as he played it, I looked down at Jurgen Klopp to see his reaction. His assistant now is screaming at him, shouting at Curtis Jones, not happy at all.
No. Jurgen Klopp, he didn't look there like he does. I drove through Liverpool today, as you know, and saw those advertising hoardings all over the city with Jurgen advertising a certain type of German beer.
Yeah.
Looks very happy in those photographs.
Oh, he looks delighted.
He does, doesn't he? I'm not surprised.
It looks like a nice pint, that's why.
I think he might have had a couple of them. Possibly. Wouldn't be anything wrong with that. Throw in for Liverpool on the far side. Was that a foul throw?
Yeah, he wasn't on the pitch when he took it. He doesn't even realise. Nico Williams.
Oh dear. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Just over 5 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool record 8 times winners of this competition against the record winners of the FA Cup, the holders of the FA Cup, Arsenal. And under Mikel Arteta, even though it's early days, Mikel Arteta with a very good record in the domestic cup competitions. 7 matches played in them, yet to lose. Also won the Community Shield, as well as the successes that he's had in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup so far. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Back to the Women's FA Cup semi-final. Betty Glover.
Yeah, we're back underway here at the Academy Stadium. It's still Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1. Arsenal's captain Kim Little has just limped off the pitch after she went down. It looked like an ankle injury. Swiss international Leah Wolty has just come on. Other than that, not a lot to say. Remember, the winner will go through to the FA Cup final against Everton, and you can watch it over on BBC Two right now.
Thank you, Betty. A try in the Castleford Hull FC game. Matt Newsom.
Castleford 12, Hull FC 12. A really strange one. There was a fighting back play which left Castleford Tigers really short at the back. There was a late shot on a Hull FC player. Hull carried on playing. Jordan Johnston took Mark Sneed's pass, ran into open space and scored the try. The try was given. The referee, Tom Grant, seems to have overlooked the scrap, and we're all square. 12 apiece.
Van Dijk's given the ball away, passed it straight to Cedric Suarez. Ceballos tries a shot from 25 yards plus, low and wide of the right post by probably 3 or 4 yards for a goal kick for Liverpool. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. As I say, the T20 quarter-final between Leicestershire and Nottinghamshire continues on 5 Live Sports Extra. We'll have more on that in a moment or two, certainly more on that at half-time. You can listen to it on 5 Live Sports Extra via BBC Sounds, and likewise BBC Sounds in the morning. You can download the 5 Live Football Daily podcast. Cedric Suarez crossing from the right hand side. Nico Williams heads it away on the edge of the box. Harry Wilson went in with a high foot, but the ball bounced for Arsenal, who go back into their own half. Yet the podcast in the morning, Steve Crossman and the EuroLeague's team. Ball played over the top of the offside flag is up against Saka, and in any case Adrian makes a clawing save, so it's a free kick to Liverpool in front of their penalty area. Yet Steve Crossman and the EuroLeague's team will be talking around today's Champions League draw, so you can download it or subscribe at BBC Sounds. Actually, likewise at half-time, we'll be talking to Christophe Terreur, the Belgian football journalist, who I feel like I haven't seen for a long, long time. Usually, under normal circumstances, you see Christophe at virtually every football match you go to. But he is a great knowledge on European football, Belgian football, and Eleanor's going to be talking to him at half-time in this match. But Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Liverpool coming forward with Jones. Jones goes back towards Van Dijk in the centre circle, and then Liverpool find it back to Van Dijk on the halfway line. Going to go back to Villa Park in a moment, but Reece Williams, high ball out towards the left-hand side. Milner, first time touch. Cedric Suarez comes close, puts in the challenge. The ball bounces out of play for what is given as a throw to Arsenal. So come in, Tom Gale.
70 minutes gone, John. Aston Villa 0, Stoke City 1. The visitors struggling to get out of their own half. Anwar El Ghazi slalom into the box, drawing a good save from Adam Davies, who's yet to concede in this competition. As I speak, record signing Ollie Watkins is on to try and salvage this one for the hosts. Aston Villa 0, Stoke City 1.
Brentford 3-0 winners against Fulham. Still FK Sarajevo 0, Celtic 0. Ceballos putting in a challenge right on the corner of the penalty area. Jota has gone down. The Liverpool players are saying that was inside the box. Arsenal, you won't be surprised to hear, are saying it was outside. And referee Kevin Friend says it's a free kick just outside the box in the fullback position. Harry Wilson's still complaining about it, but it's a free kick, not a penalty.
Ceballos just gets caught on the ball. Jota reads it really well, and the initial foul, the contact, I believe, comes outside the box from Ceballos, but continues into the box. And I think the right decision's been made from Kevin Friend.
Yep, no VAR, remember, if you weren't listening earlier, that we're watching the replay on our little television screen up here, and that's the right decision.
Correct. Yeah, I think it's a great spot from Kevin Friend. It's one of the frustrating things for me with VAR, John, because I think our referees are so eagle-eyed at times. Yes, you're going to make one or two wrong, but some of the decision-making, like we've just seen there from Kevin Friend, the referees, they should take more credit for what they do.
Free kick then. So Milner's got quite a good angle here. Burnt Leno, dancing around on his line. The ball played in by Milner towards the back post. That's headed up, but not completely away by Gabriel. But the clearance is completed by Saka. And the ball is just kept in on the far side. But it was kept in. And now it's played for Nico Williams to curl a ball into the back post. Diving header from Jota. It comes out to Minamino, who hits the crossbar. And it comes down, bounces out. And Arsenal are able to clear it. The closest we've come to a goal yet.
Well, he should score, John. It's brilliant from Nico Williams. He just lofts the ball, curls it into the back post. And a good save from Leno, who's on the floor. Minamino he's only got to tap it into an empty goal. It comes at an awkward height, but he crashes it against the crossbar. Liverpool should be 1-0 ahead.
Very good save, though, from Leno, from the diving header from Jota, who had a great opportunity himself to score his second goal for Liverpool. But a diving save to his left, pushed it out. Minamino arriving, what was he, 10 yards out?
No, he wasn't, John. I think he's about 4 yards out.
Yeah.
I think you were being very generous to him there, saying 10 yards. He's inside the 6-yard box. He should do better. It comes at him quick.
Oh, Celtic have taken the lead in the 70th minute of their Europa League playoff. FK Sarajevo 0, Celtic 1, and Odson Edouard has scored the goal. Here's a corner for Liverpool. Leno comes and punches it away. Got good contact on that. So seconds ago, Liverpool hit the crossbar. Ball played back in. Bounces across. Jones with a shot across the penalty area. Comes off the head of Van Dijk and bounces away behind. And there won't be a goal kick or a corner, because there's the half-time whistle. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Much changed teams from Monday night. Liverpool made 9 changes, Arsenal made 8. It's been very watchable. Certainly hasn't hit the heights of Monday night, but 0-0, fair enough?
Yeah, I think so. I think Arsenal have been very well organised. As we see them, or when Liverpool have the ball, they almost set up in a Christmas tree formation, as if to say, OK, we're happy for you to play wide. But then when they do, they get out there, they close quickly. Very, very well organised from Arsenal. Liverpool should, though, be 1-0 ahead from the chance from Minamino.
Yeah, that was the big chance, that Minamino hitting the crossbar. I can tell you it is Rangers 0, Galatasaray 0 at half-time in their Europa League playoff. And here at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 is also the half-time score in this Carabao Cup tie.
And it feels a little bit, Stephen, as if all the action has been in the last couple of minutes before half-time.
Yeah, it certainly has. Liverpool almost came to life at the end of the first half and created a few opportunities. Arsenal were very good in the first 20 minutes. They created a couple of not real clear-cut chances, but got in behind Liverpool, caused them a few problems. But the game's just started to open up a little bit more, and expect the same again in the second half.
Great stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Back with Stephen Warnock and John Murray for full second half commentary from this 4th round Carabao Cup tie at Anfield. Let's catch up with all the action elsewhere tonight in the Cup. Aston Villa against Stoke City, first of all, at Villa Park into the second half. Tom Gale.
75 minutes gone, Ellie. It's Aston Villa 0, Stoke City 1. Dean Smith has brought on club record signing £28 million Ollie Watkins to try and salvage this one. Stoke's defence has stood firm. They've got 3 21-year-olds in. One of those 8 changes made this evening. As it stands, it's Aston Villa 0, Stoke City 1.
And earlier on, it finished Brentford 3, Fulham 0. So the Premier League side going out to their championship rivals. 2 goals in the second half from Saeed Benrahma after Marcus Forss had given Brentford the lead in the first half. So Brentford go through to join Everton, Man United, Man City, Newcastle and Spurs, and one of Aston Villa, Stoke, Liverpool or Arsenal, rather 2 of those teams, those 4 teams, and you'll be able to hear news of the draw because it will be made at the conclusion of Liverpool against Arsenal before we go off air at 10 o'clock tonight. Let's catch up then with what's happening in the Europa League this evening. First of all, Tottenham Hotspur against Maccabi Haifa at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Mark Scott.
Spurs still leading 2-1 with just over 10 minutes to go in the first half. Been a good watch so far, Ellie. Spurs started brightly and some nice link-up play between Bergwijn and Davis teed up Kane to tap in inside of 2 minutes, but there was a good response from the Israelis. Joe Hart tipped a great hit from Sherry over the bar before the former QPR man did find the net from distance with a 20-yard blast, but parity didn't last long. A clever near-post header from Lucas Moura restored Tottenham's advantage as he met a Bergwijn corner. Spurs have been good, and I hate to use the word a bit after events following at Anfield earlier on this week when someone in the media used it. Spurs have looked a bit sloppy at the back at times, but have got away with it so far. Tottenham 2, Maccabi Haifa 1 with 10 minutes to play until the break.
Elsewhere in the Europa League, it's currently FK Sarajevo 0, Celtic 1, and it's Rangers 0, Galatasaray 0. Let's head to the Academy Stadium. It's Manchester City's women against Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final, and Betty Glover is watching.
It's still Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1. City should have scored a few minutes ago, actually. They were lurking around the Arsenal goal, had multiple chances that went wide or hit the bar. Arsenal were just struggling to clear it. All 3 goals came in the first half. Steph Houghton and USA international Sam Mewis both on the score sheet for City. Jordan Nobbs got the goal for Arsenal meanwhile. And remember, if you're getting bored of my updates, you can watch the game over on BBC 2. It's City 2, Arsenal 1.
We're never bored of your updates, Betty. But yeah, Gabby Logan on BBC 2 right now with Alex Scott and Karen Carney. And the Women's Super League is back this weekend. BBC's live game is Manchester City against Tottenham on Sunday. Build up from 12:20 on the red button, the BBC iPlayer and the BBC Sport website. And remember, you can watch every goal on the BBC Sport website, and the Women's Football Show, which is on Sunday at 8 p.m. on the red button and the iPlayer, or midnight on BBC One. Let's get an update from the Super League tonight. It's Castleford Tigers against Hull FC. Matt Newsom.
Yes, Castleford 12, Hull FC 14, heading towards the break here. Mark Sneed, in a game that's been really tight, neither side wanting to buckle, has taken a penalty goal to give Hull a narrow lead. Frustration at the moment for Darryl Powell, the Castleford coach. He went from his point in the stands right the way down to speak to the 4th official, gave him an earful. So plenty of frustration about Cass, who might concede a try here. They might just do, a forward pass against Jake Connor. But yeah, narrow margins at the moment. Castleford 12, Hull FC, we're heading for the break.
And a goal in the Europa League in North London, Mark Scott.
This might do it for Tottenham, Ellie. Spurs 3, Maccabi Haifa 1. A Lucas Moura header was blocked about 6 yards out. It rebounded to Lo Celso about 12 yards out. First time strike seared into the bottom corner. Tottenham 3, Maccabi Haifa 1.
One more slot to be decided on finals day in the Vitality T20 Blast. Will it be Notts Outlaws or Leicestershire Foxes? Kevin Howells.
It's an intriguing game of cricket. The underdogs have a chance here, Leicestershire. The Outlaws 104 for 6 after 16 overs, chasing down 140 to make it to finals day in Birmingham at the weekend. Mulaney and Patel, experienced men out in the middle there, but we've just seen terrific bowling again from Colin Ackerman and also the spin of Callum Parkinson. Ackerman with 3 wickets, 2 wickets in 1 over, putting the pressure back on the Outlaws. 104 for 6 with 4 overs remaining. That's 36 from 24 deliveries to book their place at Birmingham. It's a fascinating game right now on Sports Extra.
Thank you, Kevin. Coming up, we'll have more reaction to the Champions League draw, which was made today. But first, let's get the news on 5 Live with Shabnam Yunus-Jul.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you, Ellie. Here is the news. Tougher coronavirus restrictions are being introduced in 4 areas of northern England. The new rules to prevent social mixing will come into force on Saturday and will apply to the Liverpool City region, Warrington, Hartlepool and Middlesbrough. The BBC has learned that the government is planning to standardise local restrictions in England with a new 3-tier system. The plans to simplify the rules have been presented to public health officials today. An MP has been suspended by the Scottish National Party after she admitted travelling to and from Westminster despite having COVID-19 symptoms. Margaret Ferrier, who represents Rutherglen and Hamilton West, has apologised after testing positive for the virus. And from Saturday, people arriving in the UK from Poland and Turkey will have to self-isolate for 14 days or face fines. Arrivals from the Caribbean islands of Bonaire, St Eustatius and Saba will also have to quarantine.
5 Live Breakfast.
5 Live Workshop is running right across the day here on 5 Live.
And the reason it's today, well, it's the 1st of October, and that means furlough starts to wind down from today.
Join the conversation on social media. Use the hashtag 5 Live Workshop.
From today, employers are having to meet more of the burden of what is being paid to workers still out on furlough. Certainly at the end of July, we knew that about 5 million people were still on furlough. The government will pay 60% of a furloughed worker's pay from today. Their employer now having to top that up by 20% to at least 80%. Some do pay more.
5 Live Breakfast. Back tomorrow from 6.
This is 5 Live Sport with Eleanor Oldroyd.
Second half commentary to come from Anfield. Liverpool against Arsenal in the 4th round of the EFL Cup, but Tottenham look like they're going through to the group stages of the Europa League. Mark Scott.
Yes, they certainly do. They're now 4-1 up against Maccabi Haifa with 5 minutes to go until the break. Giovanni Lo Celso with another goal, 2 in the space of 3 minutes for him. Harry Kane set him up. Lovely run, an inch-perfect pass, and then Lo Celso with the neat clipped finish over the keeper. Tottenham 4, Maccabi Haifa 1.
Other sports headlines tonight. Everton striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin is in his first England squad after being selected for this month's matches against Wales, Belgium and Denmark. Leicester's Harvey Barnes and Arsenal's Bukayo Saka also get their first call-ups. Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden, who was sent home from Iceland last month after breaching coronavirus quarantine guidelines, have been left out. But Harry Maguire, who was withdrawn from that squad while he faced a court case in Greece, is in the 30-man squad. Elsewhere, the world number 1 Novak Djokovic eased through to the 3rd round of the French Open, beating Lithuania's Ricardas Berankis in straight sets. Well, let's get some more reaction to the Champions League draw, which took place earlier on today. European football journalist Christophe Terreur joins us now. Evening, Christophe.
Good evening.
We'll talk about the English teams in the draw in a second, but, of course, the mouth-watering prospect of another Messi against Ronaldo face-off, Barcelona against Juventus.
Yeah, we had to wait for it for a while now, since the Clásicos in Spain 2 years ago. So it's finally again a battle of prestige. It's only in the group stages. It's for the first time in the group stages. But even if they're both in the autumn of their career, it will be a fascinating games with 2 motivated players, because they have been pushing each other for more than 15 years now, and that's something you want to see in those games too. I think both players who still want the Champions League at least once in their career, where they're now going. So I think all eyes will be on those games. They're by far the most exciting games in the group stages for me, although it's still group stages.
Absolutely. And as far as the English clubs are concerned, Manchester United, probably the trickiest group, PSG, RB, Leipzig and Istanbul Başakşehir, which I think most of us... that's the first time I've ever had to say that, and I think I probably said it wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce it too, but I think it's Başakşehir or something like that. So it will be a difficult one for all commentators and even for the people at Manchester United. But usually with those draws, you see the faces of all the people of the club sitting into a room waiting for the draw. You didn't have that today, but I would have seen the face of somebody from Manchester United in the season where they're a very important season for them. They're struggling a little bit in the transfer market. They can't get the targets they want. They can't end up like Arsenal, not qualifying for the next round of the Champions League, or they get into this vicious cycle a little bit. So it's an important campaign for them. But they have a difficult group. PSG are by far favourites in the group, and Red Bull's Leipzig, the team hasn't basically changed since last season. They lost their best player with Werner. They got Sørloth, who used to play for Crystal Palace, in. So, yeah, it's a tough one for them. And you can't underestimate the Turkish team either, I think. So they will have a tough one to qualify, I think.
Christoph, thank you very much for the moment. Yeah, Man City have Porto, Olympiacos and Marseille in their group. Liverpool, Ajax, Atalanta and Midtjylland, and then Chelsea in Group E with Sevilla, Krasnodar and Rennes. And you can look at the full draw on the BBC Sport website. And Christoph will be back on the EuroLeague's Football Daily as the team look at that draw in more detail, and that will be available tomorrow morning. Well, the champion flat jockey Oisin Murphy is facing a lengthy ban from the sport after failing a drugs test in France. French authorities say he's tested positive for cocaine. Let's speak to our commentator, John Hunt. Evening, John. He's denying ever having taken it.
Absolutely, yes. Oisin Murphy, 25-year-old champion jockey, looking destined to secure a second championship in just a month's time as well, with a clear lead over his rivals throughout 2020. Has said and talked today through a Racing UK Racing TV interview at Chelmsford Racecourse tonight, and through a statement from the Professional Jockeys Association, has said tonight that he's completely innocent. His quote there was, "I have never taken cocaine in my life and will fight to clear my name." This all stems back to mid-July at Chantilly Racecourse, where he provided a urine sample. He was informed a month later that that was positive, and now he faces an anxious wait for the B sample and the testing on that to come back. He obviously will be keeping his fingers crossed that that comes back as negative. But in previous cases over the years, Ellie, that happens very rarely indeed. So these are indeed precarious weeks and months ahead for Oisin Murphy.
And he is really the star in waiting. Well, I mean, he's a star already, but with Frankie Dettori maybe approaching the end of his career, he is the man to take the mantle on, potentially.
Yes, indeed, Ellie. I couldn't agree more with you. Dettori nudging 50 years old, Oisin Murphy half of his age. They're two very different characters, but Murphy has many skills, not just a brilliant rider in the saddle, obviously, but his communication skills throughout these last couple of years that has seen him as champion jockey have been very, very strong. He works tirelessly, seemingly, for charitable organisations such as Racing to School, involving young children in racing as well. And yes, his social media presence is very strong on Twitter and Instagram. He seemingly is never off those sort of platforms. He's a great communicator. Horse racing, flat racing, love him as their figurehead, the new figurehead, as Frankie comes towards the end of his career. So, yeah, anxious moments for British racing and Murphy himself.
Thank you very much indeed, John Hunt, our horse racing commentator. And it is 5 Live Sport on a really, really busy night. But we talked up this game between Liverpool and Arsenal in the fourth round of the League Cup as a bit of a goal fest. Not quite turned out like that so far, but second half commentary coming up, and you can hear it alongside the final score graphics and the video printer. All you need to do is press the red button or go to BBC iPlayer or the BBC Sport app and click on 5 Live Final Score. I'm bringing you the action from the second half. Will be John Murray and Stephen Warnock. But before we do that, let's quickly nip to Mark Scott at Spurs against Maccabi Haifa.
Yeah, Spurs 4-1 up at the break. They were ahead after just 2 minutes when Harry Kane tapped in from close range. The Israelis responded well. Long-range hit from Sharan Sherry levelled things up, but poor defending was punished well by Tottenham. Lucas Moura with a free header, and then 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes from Giovanni Lo Celso has surely got Spurs through to the group stage. Tottenham 4, Maccabi Haifa 1 at half-time.
Thank you, Matt. Mark, sorry. Matt. Who is Matt, by the way? Matt Newsom at Castleford Tigers this afternoon. Players are out at Anfield. Anyway, enough of this. All to play for in the second half. Stephen Warnock and John Murray.
Don't give up on it yet, Eleanor. We'll hopefully get you a few goals in the second half. But it is Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 as the second half gets underway. Neither of the two coaches, Jurgen Klopp or Mikel Arteta down there, has made any changes at the break. Arsenal with their goalkeeper Bernd Leno chipping the ball away from the 6-yard box in the very much the style of the new Arsenal. Minamino now heading it forward towards the edge of the box, but Kolasinac steps in, and Arsenal have got possession again. Played forward by Kolasinac to Pepe, running through the sides in full in a moment or two, and Pepe is dispossessed by Curtis Jones, so Liverpool can come forward. Liverpool in the second half attacking from left to right as we look towards the empty Kop down to our right. Quite a sad sight for any match without any supporters at all, but all of the various Liverpool supporters' banners and flags are draped over the seats down there. And Liverpool attacking down the left-hand side, and a shove by Rob Holding, and it's a free kick to Liverpool out on the left-hand side. Stephen Warnock watching with us on 5 Live tonight, former Liverpool and England full-back. Free kick to Liverpool, Stephen.
Yeah, dangerous position. Harry Wilson and James Milner stood over the ball on the left-hand side. Thought it was a little bit unfortunate for Rob Holding, because it's just a challenge that he had to go up for with Jota to try and win a header. A little contact made on him, and Jota hits the ground, and the free kick's given against Arsenal.
I think it was the jump, wasn't it, with the arm into the back of Jota that probably did it. So it's a free kick for Liverpool, swirled into the box, and the header at the back post is up and over the angle of post and bar. Didn't threaten from Marco Grujic, and it's a goal kick for Arsenal. So Liverpool have Adrian in goal tonight. Back four of Nico Williams, Reece Williams, Virgil van Dijk, and captain on the night James Milner. Still no involvement incidentally for Jordan Henderson. There is some suggestion that he might be able to be involved against Aston Villa at the weekend. Midfield tonight, Marco Grujic with Curtis Jones and Harry Wilson either side of him, and then Mohamed Salah starting a League Cup tie for Liverpool for the first time tonight. Minamino and Diogo Jota. Arsenal make an unforced error, Leno chipping the ball out of play on the halfway line. And the Arsenal side this evening, I'll run you through in a moment, but the ball's been played back to Adrian, who with Eddie Nketiah closing him down, he sliced it out of play for a throw-in for Arsenal, 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. Just watching Mikel Arteta there, who seemed suddenly very animated at something Bernd Leno had said, and I'm wondering whether he might have had a little issue or not, but perhaps not.
I think he was just saying when he's taking the goal kicks, John, or when he's trying to play it out, chip it rather than drilling it just into the chest of the player.
Free kick for Arsenal, which is taken by Kolasinac to Pepe. Pepe into the full-back position, then up against Williams, crosses to the near post, but that's an easy catch for goalkeeper Adrian. And the Arsenal team tonight, Bernd Leno in goal, and it's been quite adaptable, hasn't it, this Arsenal formation? Whether you call it 3 central defenders, which it is from, on occasion, Rob Holding, Gabriel and Kolasinac, with Cedric Suarez on the right-hand side, and in the centre field, Saka to the left of Granit Xhaka, and Joe Willock and Ceballos in there as well. Joe Willock up on the right-hand side, Pepe on the left, and Eddie Nketiah through the middle. And here is Kolasinac down in what is the left-back position. Plays it forward. It's headed forward by Grujic. Salah gets a touch. Salah looking to get it back on the edge of the box from Jota. That's intercepted on the edge of the box. And then Rob Holding chips it away, and it comes off Nico Williams and bounces out for a throw to Arsenal. So a throw-in for Arsenal. Are we still calling it a... it's a sort of, sometimes it's a back three and sometimes it's a back four.
Yeah, I've been hugely impressed with the way Arsenal have pressed, where the wing-backs have tucked in and into the back four. I think it's what you often expect from wing-backs and what they should do in that role. The one player who's really impressed me tonight for Arsenal is Joe Willock. His adaptability to play in that forward role has been outstanding. His understanding of when to drop in and help out Cedric Suarez has been exceptional. A very, very, very mature performance from him.
Strong piece of defending from Reece Williams as well there for Liverpool, the 19-year-old central defender against the young Arsenal striker Eddie Nketiah. Just held him off, shrugged him off, and the ball ran through to Adrian.
Yeah, I think that's something that you learn when you're watching the likes of Van Dijk and Joe Gomez, using your arm, that strength, stopping the natural run, make it longer, curve the run, try and hold them off, and he did it very well there.
There's absolutely no question, is there, Stephen, who Reece Williams models himself on?
It's not me or you, John.
It's not. It's the bloke to his left. Here's Grujic, who's clearly been pulled back by Xhaka. Wins a free kick, takes it quickly, but takes it from the wrong place. So Liverpool have to bring it back. Jurgen Klopp said pre-match, Juliet's just passed me this note, he was only going to play Virgil van Dijk for the first half and then replace him with Gomez for the second half. So, what's happened there? Because Van Dijk's still on the field.
I wonder whether it's a call from Van Dijk to say, no, I'm happy, or whether Jurgen Klopp just feels that he needs to keep Van Dijk on the pitch for that experience. It's probably been a little bit more of a tougher challenge than he expected tonight, that would be a surprise to me if that was the way he was thinking.
Well, he came off at half-time, didn't he, last week, and Fabinho came on. And Liverpool attacking down the right-hand side. Nico Williams has done well to win a corner off Kolasinac. That was quite a cheap one. So it's a Liverpool corner. Before they take it to Villa Park, Tom Gale.
Full time, Aston Villa 0, Stoke 1. John, the 5-time winners and last year's finalists are out. 11 changes made by Dean Smith, met by a really professional Stoke who made 8 themselves. Sam Vokes' quality first half header was enough. They're yet to concede in this season's competition. They're into the quarter-finals. Full time, Villa 0, Stoke 1.
Yeah, second championship team into the quarter-finals. We'll have the draw before 10 o'clock for you here on 5 Live. We're live at Anfield for the main commentary this evening. Earlier, Brentford won 3-0 against Fulham. If you missed that, that's the other championship side through. Liverpool still 0-0 with Arsenal here. Milner to take the corner, curling towards the back post where it's headed down by Grujic. Van Dijk is there. Good save. Leno got down very sharply to his right. Minamino battling for it, and he's committed a foul on Bukayo Saka. But good save, Leno, from Van Dijk's prod.
Unbelievable save. Outstanding from Bernd Leno. They work the corner so well, because what they do is James Milner takes the corner from the right-hand side and they pull everyone towards the front post, and it's at the back post. Marco Grujic heads it down. Van Dijk stabs it with the outside of his foot, and Bernd Leno down to his right-hand side, strong round the corner. Outstanding save.
That's a really agile save from Bernd Leno. The reactions are excellent to get down and make that save. Rangers have taken the lead at Ibrox against Galatasaray. That's the first goal of the night. Scott Arfield scoring. 52nd minute. Rangers leading Galatasaray by 1-0. Celtic are still winning by 1-0 in their Europa League playoff away against FK Sarajevo. And it can't be long to... In fact, it's finished. FK Sarajevo 0, Celtic 1. So Neil Lennon's side are through thanks to that Odson Edouard goal. And they will be in the draw in the morning, along with Arsenal and Leicester, and hopefully, from a British point of view, Tottenham, who are winning 4-1 against Maccabi Haifa, and Rangers, who are now 1-0 up against Galatasaray. You'll hear news of that draw late morning tomorrow on 5 Live. Now back to the Women's FA Cup semi-final. Betty Glover.
It's still Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1. City have brought on their big guns, though. World Cup winner Rose Lavelle is on for her debut. She usually plays with her socks by her ankles, if you remember, at the World Cup, but she's pulled them up. She's probably realised how cold it is here in Manchester. Arsenal look a bit tame, to be honest, for a team that scored 19 goals in 3 games. Not a lot of chances, not what you would expect from an FA Cup semi-final. Also a reminder, it's live on BBC 2. It's City 2, Arsenal 1.
And Nicolas Pepe with a shot from 25 yards, but it lacked power. Adrian was able to deal with it quite comfortably. Now Harry Wilson to the left corner of the penalty area. Liverpool. Jota plays it back centrally. Grujic to his right to Curtis Jones. Jones looks for Nico Williams, but I think Jones is overhit it. He has. It's through, and it bounces against the hoardings in front of the Kop, and it's still 0-0. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, just a loose pass from Curtis Jones. They'd worked it really well, Liverpool. They'd opened up the right-hand channel for Nico Williams to put a ball into the box, and he just overcooks the pass and knocks it out for a goal kick. As Arsenal again set up with the 2 centre halves either side of the 6-yard box. Granit Xhaka just in front of Bernd Leno.
Leno takes the goal kick long, way over the head of Pepe on the halfway line, who takes a couple of steps back off the pitch, and it's out for a throw to Liverpool. Mikel Arteta reacts by making a number of hand signals out there onto the pitch. Cold night. I noticed one of the Arsenal substitutes just pulling out a big coat, a hooded black anorak, and wraps that around himself. The temperature is dipping here. It's quite a chilly evening. Lovely night, though. Lovely night for football. And that moon, that harvest moon, has now risen high in the sky, and very soon, actually, I would think will disappear above the roof above our heads. Magnificent harvest moon. Arsenal in the cream shirts with the raspberry ripple detail on the front, have the ball inside their own half, played forward by Kolasinac. He has Pepe on the left-hand side, slips it in field to Xhaka, who got the ball underneath his feet and passed it straight to Grujic. This is quick stuff from Liverpool. Jota and Wilson combining. Now Jota into the penalty area, a right foot shot just wide of the face of goal. In fact, it's taken a touch there, which has carried it wide for a corner, says referee Kevin Friend.
Yeah, and that is the best period of play for Liverpool so far this half. They move it so quickly in midfield. The interchange between Harry Wilson and Jota, one touch, and then Jota just drives at Cedric Suarez, who can't really deal with him. Manages to get his shot away, deflected wide off Rob Holding. It's a really good block.
So it's a corner to Liverpool from the right-hand side. Just over half an hour to play. Remember, as the corner is taken short and it's swung in by Jones to the back post, it's headed across by Grujic, headed up and partially away by Gabriel, and then it comes out for Liverpool again. Back to Milner. Milner swirls a high ball in beyond the penalty spot, headed down at the back post by Grujic, wide and behind, and he had Granit Xhaka in front of him, who perhaps did just enough to force him to head it wide. So it is a goal kick. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. The cricket, the T20 cricket, the last of the quarter-finals continues on 5 Live Sports Extra on your digital radio, or indeed via BBC Sounds. That's where you can download the 5 Live Football Daily podcast in the morning. And let's get the latest from Tottenham, who look as though they're on their way through to tomorrow's draw, Mark Scott.
They certainly are, John. 4-1 up against Maccabi Haifa as the second half gets underway. And we've had an interesting half-time sub. The lesser-spotted Dele Alli has come on for the second half, replacing the 2-goal Giovanni Lo Celso.
Dele Alli is on for Spurs, so there'll be a bit of a spotlight on him. And Stephen Warnock. It looks as though we are going to see Joe Gomez coming on very shortly. And Divock Origi, I think, is also getting himself ready down there.
Yeah, I just wonder whether that's going to be possibly Harry Wilson coming off and Jota dropping a little bit deeper into midfield and possibly putting Origi up, and you'd expect the change of Gomez being a straight swap for Virgil van Dijk.
Stephen, what about Harry Wilson then, who was on loan at Bournemouth last season, obviously in their relegation season, 23 years old now. As I mentioned, this is his full debut for Liverpool as a 23-year-old. Are we expecting him to go out on loan again?
Well, he's either going to go out on loan or he'll be sold. I don't see him having a future at Liverpool. To be honest, I think he's a fantastic player, but when you're at the level Liverpool are at, I just don't quite think he's at that level. I don't think he's been hugely influential in the game tonight. This is his first start. You want to take a chance and you want to show the manager what you can do. He's just not had too much of the ball this evening.
So here come Gomez and Origi. They'll be on very shortly. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Minamino with the run down into the full-back position, but Kolasinac did well, actually. Won it back, cleared it away, Xhaka. And then it comes back to Curtis Jones on the right-hand side. Jones, who just shows too much of it to Saka, who put in the challenge, bounced out for a throw. We'll go back to the Women's FA Cup semi-final in a moment, but Liverpool with this throw, level with the edge of the Arsenal box, which is taken by Nico Williams. Here's Salah into the area, very tight. He's been able to find a way through, gets the ball back from Minamino, 2 Arsenal players on him. The ball bounces away, and then it's lifted away by the left foot of Kolasinac and out for a throw to Liverpool. Rangers have got a second goal, and James Tavernier has made it Rangers 2, Galatasaray 0. Excellent start to the new season for Steven Gerrard's side. Ceballos, that was a testing tie against Galatasaray. Grujic, low shot from Grujic. Good save by Leno again. Quite close to him, but he still had to be quick down to his left to get his hand to it and parry it away, Stephen.
He did really well because it comes through a crowd of players. It's just a ricochet on the edge of the box, and he's first onto it, Grujic. You don't expect him to shoot. You're expecting him just to take a touch, but he unleashes a right foot shot into the bottom corner. Great save from Leno, who sees it late.
So Rangers 2-0 up on Galatasaray. Celtic are through. They won 1-0 away against FK Sarajevo. And as we heard from Mark at Tottenham, Spurs are on their way through as well. So here come the changes then for Liverpool. And it is Salah, who, as we've mentioned, has played in the League Cup for Liverpool for only the 3rd time here this evening, started in the competition for Liverpool for the first time, and he's not had a chance.
No, he hasn't. He's always a danger once he gets in the box. There was a moment about 5 minutes ago where he's in the box and defenders are petrified to touch him. He brings a fear to defenders. I mean, I'd hate to play against him. You just know how quick his feet are, but he's been kept relatively quiet this evening, and Jurgen Klopp obviously feeling that he wants to wrap him up ready for the weekend's game against Brighton. Villa, sorry.
Yes, I knew it wasn't Brighton.
Yeah, I was thinking Everton play Brighton.
That's right. Yeah, on Saturday afternoon. It is Villa Sunday night, 7:15 Sunday night. I am going to that game as well.
I should know, being both of my former clubs, John.
Well, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So those Liverpool supporters who were thinking before the game, why is Jurgen Klopp risking Salah and Van Dijk? Well, they've both been substituted.
Yeah, you wonder why he felt like he needed to play them tonight. You wonder whether he just might have put them on the bench and given Harvey Elliott more opportunity to grow into this Liverpool squad and show what he can do, but he just felt that it was right to play Mohamed Salah. I didn't quite see him hit the levels that he has hit in the Premier League.
No. And centre field, Jones with a pass. Oh, Jota, what a chest down! Left foot shot! Good save, Leno again. That would have been a magnificent goal. The long pass from Jones. What a takedown from Jota on the edge of the box. The chest down, left foot shot. But good save, Leno.
Oh, the control is everything. It's so perfect. It's cut across the defender. Takes him in, one touch into his path, and you're thinking just unleash it into the goal. He's got Gabriel coming across to close him down, who actually does quite well, but another good save from Bernd Leno. Liverpool with all the opportunities in the second half.
Leno's becoming the man of the match. Still 0-0. He has the corner. Grujic with a header and a clawing save by Leno. He actually didn't get too much power on that, Grujic, and I wondered for a moment if he'd misjudged it, Leno, but he was still able to, as he leapt to his right, get a clawing hand to it to push it away, and then an offside flag against Minamino down here in the Arsenal left-back position. 0-0.
I think Marco Grujic has been the most dangerous player from set pieces. He's won 5-6 headers so far tonight. Again, no one picking him up, and it's Granit Xhaka who tries to get close to him, but he doesn't get close enough and loops a header into the far top right-hand corner. And like you say, John, I do think Leno misread it, gets up early and just claws it away. It's another sensible save, though.
Is Marco Grujic, over the course of the couple of matches that we've seen him play, admittedly in the Carabao Cup against Lincoln and here against this Arsenal team, is he making Jurgen Klopp have a little bit of a think?
Well, that's what I was talking about with Harry Wilson. I don't feel that he's given that impression tonight, whereas Grujic has been hugely impressive. Obviously against Lincoln, I think he's been excellent again tonight. He's been a player who's demanding the ball. He's putting his foot in that holding role position, which you want him to do. He reads danger, he senses it. For me, he's grown up so much in the last couple of years, and the low moves to the Bundesliga, excellent from him, and I'm sure...
A pass from the back from Rhys Williams to Adrian. I'm not sure he did keep that in on the dead ball.
No, I didn't either, John.
But the assistant on the far side was racing back and wasn't looking along the line, so I think they've got away with it. Could have been a cheap corner. Liverpool have got the ball back. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. 25 minutes to play, just over that, plus added time. And Liverpool coming down the left-hand side. And Jones just drops a shoulder, has a shot, comes off a defender on the edge of the box, but loops into the air, and that's an easy catch for Bernd Leno, who's now made, I make that 4 saves in the second half. Van Dijk's prod.
Are you giving that one a save, John?
No.
I was thinking,
not that one.
He's just caught it.
I'm not including that one. It's there was the Van Dijk, the shot from Van Dijk, the low shot from Grujic, Jota with his chest down, and then the header from Grujic. Those are your 4. Not that. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Back to Castleford, Hull FC, Matt Newsom.
Yeah, Castleford 12, Hull FC 20. Hull FC opening up a bit of a lead. Chris Sate bashing his way through after a series of assaults on the Tigers line. It's the type of night where you can see your breath in the air, but there's plenty of heat between these two. It's ferocious out there. Castleford 12, Hull FC 20.
And I'm just saying as well, in the T20 quarter-final, Nottinghamshire have beaten Leicestershire, despite the scores finishing level. Both sides made 139 for 7 but the Nottinghamshire had a better power play score, which takes them through. So it'll be Surrey against Gloucestershire and Notts against Lancashire in the semi-finals of the Vitality Blast. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 here in the Carabao Cup. Brentford and Stoke are already through tonight. Championship winners against Premier League clubs. Fulham and Aston Villa are out. So Brentford and Stoke into the last 8 with Newcastle, the Manchester clubs, Everton and Tottenham. Offside flag against Joe Willock on the far side. Liverpool with a free kick halfway inside their own half. 0-0 the score, but Liverpool the superior team in the second half, Stephen.
Yeah, they have. They've created some fantastic opportunities in the second half from individual quality. Arsenal haven't quite lived up to the billing of the first half. They seem to be not as sharp, not closing down as well, a little bit more disorganised from the forward players. But something that Jurgen Klopp's obviously spoke about at half-time, that you have to move the ball quicker, and Liverpool have definitely done that.
Since Origi's come on, he's on the left-hand side. Reece Williams with a challenge on Pepe, and it's a free kick to Arsenal just inside the Liverpool half. So Origi on the left and Jota's come across to the right. And another goal in the Tottenham Maccabi Haifa tie. Mark Scott.
Yeah, Maccabi Haifa have got one back. It's 4-2. It was a penalty put away by Rukavica after a handball by Doherty. Spurs think that they should have a penalty now as well. The referee's in conversation. I'll let you know what comes of it. But at the moment, it's Tottenham 4, Maccabi Haifa 2.
First change for Arsenal here, and Mohamed El Neni, the Egyptian midfielder, is coming on for Ceballos in the centre midfield. Ceballos walks off the field slightly hanging his head. He's got the look of a player who feels he might have done better tonight.
I thought he did really well on the ball in the first half. I just think when it comes to the second half and you're closing down, he seems to tire a little bit.
Gabriel takes the free kick in, but that's an easy catch for Adrian, who comes right out to the edge of the 6-yard box and then hurls a ball out to Minamino. Then Origi takes it on, plays it. Holding, though, should win this chase. He does, and plays it back to Leno. And then El Neni back to Holding, who's just made that sprint back into his own half. Thanks very much, Mohamed, for that. But he did well. But then El Neni's given it away to Jota, but Holding in with a challenge for Arsenal to win it back. So he's also got El Neni out of a spot of bother there, Holding. Saka to Xhaka. And now Xhaka, Granit Xhaka, to the right-hand side. Cedric Suarez looks up, curls a ball. Arsenal have got a chance here, taken down by Saka, and then an important covering challenge comes in from Nico Williams just as the teenager was bringing it down. The other teenager arrived on the scene to clear it behind.
Yeah, magnificent ball from Suarez from that right-hand side. Nico Williams just caught a little bit looking at Pepe, and Saka gets in between him and Reece Williams. It's not poor control, but just gets taken off his toe as he looks to unleash a shot.
So a chance for Arsenal at the Anfield Road end. Pepe takes the corner back to Saka, who gives it to Pepe, who's in the full-back position now, crossing left-footed, headed by Holding. Good save, Adrian, to his left. And he was, 6-7 yards out, Holding. It was just too close to Adrian, who was able to make a sharp save to his left.
Yeah, really good save from Adrian. I think Holding should score, though. I think he should do better, being that close in. It's a magnificent ball into the area. Good save from Adrian, though.
So it still remains 0-0. And it is full-time now in the Manchester City Arsenal Women's FA Cup semi-final. Manchester City through, Betty Glover.
They are indeed. They beat Arsenal 2-1. They're going back to Wembley for the final of the FA Cup, where they'll face Everton. It was a pretty convincing performance from City. They looked hungry. They looked like they wanted it. Captain Steph Houghton opened the scoring from a brilliantly taken free kick. Jordan Nobbs did take Arsenal level, but moments after, the USA international and City's summer signing Sam Ewers made it 2-1. She was excellent throughout. Arsenal didn't really test City's goalkeeper Ellie Roebuck here until the dying seconds. They'll be disappointed with themselves tonight. Finished Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1.
And by the way, the Women's Super League's on BBC television this weekend as well. Sunday afternoon you can watch Manchester City against Tottenham on BBC television. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 remains the score here in this Carabao Cup 4th round tie. But another goal at Tottenham. Mark Scott.
Tottenham have their 3-goal lead again, 5-2 ahead. Harry Kane from the penalty spot after a really harsh handball decision in the Maccabi box, and Kane with the penalty straight down the middle. 5-2 Spurs.
So 2 goals for Harry Kane tonight. Celtic are through. Looks like Rangers are going through. 2-0 up on Galatasaray. And here in the Carabao Cup, still all square. Adrian overarms the ball out to James Milner, Liverpool's captain this evening, who races down the left wing in front of the almost empty Sakani Dalglish stand. The name of the stand is lit up in red on the front of the stand roof, the floodlights shining down above them as Adrian hits a long ball downfield over the top of Origi and out of play for a throw-in to Arsenal, 5 or 6 yards inside their own half. Reminder, if you don't know, if this finishes all square after 90 minutes, it's straight to a penalty shootout to decide who goes through. And then we'll have the draw before 10 o'clock on 5 Live tonight. We'll try and bring you live interviews from down on pitch side with Jurgen Klopp and Mikel Arteta and whoever else we're offered to talk to. And then at 10 o'clock, Adrian Chiles will be on 5 Live with question time, extra time, which is always worth a listen. Here is Kolasinac playing it back to Saka inside his own half. Saka to Kolasinac. Saka combining again and then back to Kolasinac, who was put under pressure. Played it into Jota. Minamino back to Jones. And now Grujic carrying the ball forward. Grujic to Jota on the right. Jota back to Grujic. Takes it with his left foot. Now on his right. Shoots. That's blocked by Granit Xhaka and the ball bounces away. Spins towards the right-hand side and out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool near the corner flag. Nico Williams picks up the ball on the low white cone. Will take the throw at close quarters to Wilson, then back to Grujic centrally. Grujic with the outside of his boot. Played it in between James Milner and Cedric Suarez, but the Arsenal defender was able to get there first. So let's get another update on Castleford Hull FC from Matt Newsom.
Yeah, Castleford 16, Hull FC 20. Grant Millington with a try that brings Castleford right back into the game. Gareth O'Brien missed the goal. How many times have we seen it where kicks are missed and kicks do win games? So really testy this one. A feisty air to it. Castleford 16, Hull FC 20.
Still Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 on this cool night. And indeed the harvest moon, Stephen, has disappeared above the roof of the stand, above our heads. Wijnaldum's going to come on for Liverpool very shortly. And that will be the third and final change that Jurgen Klopp can make. The Premier League games at the weekend, the one we mentioned, Liverpool's game at Aston Villa, Arsenal's match at home against Sheffield United on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. They are 2 of 5 live Premier League commentaries over the course of this coming weekend. Ball played by Holding from the back, trying to find Kolasinac, but he hits it way above the head of his teammate and out of play for a throw, and then the ball bounces back onto the field. So Nico Williams can't take this throw just yet. He's going to have to go onto the field and get the ball off himself, which he does. Throw in for Liverpool. Wijnaldum walks to the side of the pitch. Nico Williams goes one way, then the other, and then with Saka in front of him, goes all the way back to his namesake Reece on the halfway line. Now Curtis Jones starts a run down the left-hand side. Milner is there, gives it back to Jones. El Neni comes across, 2 Arsenal players on the Liverpool number 17. Then back to the number 7, Milner. Grujic gets involved. Milner's right-footed cross is blocked, and that bounces away, and Arsenal could be offering a counter-attack here with their record signing, Nicolas Pepe, who has his heels clipped and is sent sprawling by Harry Wilson, who's going to be yellow-carded.
Another sensible foul from Harry Wilson. It's very cynical. He just kicks the ankles of Nicolas Pepe, who's away running at Reece Williams. He knows he has to take one for the team.
And it's Jota who is replaced by Jorginho Wijnaldum. So he scored his first goal for Liverpool here on Monday night when he made his home debut, his Premier League debut for his new club after his £40-odd million signing from Wolves. And he's made his first start tonight. Stephen Warnock, we'll have a word in a moment on how he's fared this evening. But Arsenal have the ball, but they go back into their own half to Gabriel, who gives the ball to Kolasinac, now infield towards Xhaka, who looks up, finds a pass towards the right-hand side to Joe Willock. Willock's ball in, and Nketiah with a header, but slightly off balance, tried to glance it inside the far post, but headed it 3 or 4 yards wide of the post instead. So Jota?
Yeah, he's done well. I think what you know you're going to get from him is what Pep Lijnders has spoke about, the pressing monster, as he liked to call him, and said that that's what he's going to bring to the Liverpool team, is that press from high up. But he's also shown the quality to link up with his fellow forwards and cause problems. So good minutes in the bank for him. He needs that. He know it's going to be a different style of play from what he played at Wolves, and he's going to have to get used to the high intensity of Liverpool's play.
Liverpool coming forward, cross from Milner, that comes off the head of Holding inside the penalty area. Saka heads it away, comes back down for Arsenal. Curtis Jones now appears on the right hand side, but as he tries to give it back to Nico Williams, presents the ball to Arsenal, and then Reece Williams bundles over Eddie Nketiah, and it's a free kick to Arsenal halfway inside their own half. Still 0-0. We're into the last 15 minutes now, Stephen, so the odds are shortening on a penalty shootout again to decide this, as it was last year after a 5-5 draw. Might be penalties after a 0-0 this time round.
Yeah, it could be. I was surprised that he brought Wijnaldum on. I thought when I looked at the bench, I thought he might bring Fabinho on. You think of his record for penalty taking at Monaco, stood up very well, and you just thought that might be an option, but he obviously feels the introduction of Wijnaldum that he can still get something out of this game in the 90 minutes.
And of course, they were separated by a penalty shootout in the Community Shield just a few weeks ago as well, when Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored the winning penalty at Wembley. That won't be happening tonight. Aubameyang not involved. Long ball forward, Origi jumping for it, but it bounces past him and through to Bernd Leno. I'm sure after the second half that he's had, Bernd Leno will fancy his chances in a penalty shootout.
He'll be full of confidence, won't he?
He will.
He's been superb tonight. I think the only thing that's really let him down has been his kicking. I think it's been poor at times, but you cannot fault his saves. The saves that he's made, some of them, especially the save from Van Dijk, was outstanding.
Anyway, listen, we might not have a penalty shootout yet. We've still got over 10 minutes to play. Divock Origi on the left-hand side as Liverpool attack again towards the cup. Wijnaldum digs the pass diagonally for Milner to chase. He's going to do well to keep that in. He can't keep it in over there in the corner, and it's a goal kick to Arsenal. So Rangers still 2-0 up on Galatasaray. Tottenham 5-2 up on Maccabi Haifa. And tomorrow night on 5 Live Sport, by the way, good guests with Darren Fletcher and Jermaine Genius, Micah Richards, Dimitar Berbatov and Danny Simpson will be on 5 Live Sport with them tomorrow night from 7 o'clock, which should be worth a listen. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 here on this Thursday night. Don't know what we're going to do without the Carabao Cup next midweek, although we will have the internationals to fill the gap. Here's Wijnaldum taking on Cedric Suarez, who recovers. Wijnaldum gives it back to Grujic, who puts his foot on it, gives it back to the Dutchman. Wijnaldum, who then taps it back to Grujic, and then Milner available on the left-hand side. This is quite ponderous, this build-up here. Minamino with a touch. Grujic looks like a towering figure there, doesn't he? There's yellow boots on, plays it through to Origi. Then back to Milner on the right-hand side. Milner moving in field, in comes Cedric Suarez with a challenge, and he's been able to work it away and out for a throw-in to Liverpool on the left-hand side. Throw-in taken quickly. Grujic again, advancing towards the penalty area. There's a line, well, 2 lines of cream Arsenal shirts, one inside the area, one outside the area. Ball's played through, Holding clears it away, comes out for Liverpool again as they continue to put the pressure on this Arsenal defence. Played in low by Milner to Origi just inside the box. Then Milner's left-footed cross, it's over the top of Minamino, headed away for Arsenal, and Liverpool take possession again. Joe Gomez, who's playing as the left-sided central defender since he came on for Van Dijk. Now Jones, Nico Williams on the right. Nico Williams up against Saka, and he just puts the foot on the ball, then gets it back. Saka goes to ground and gets a touch on it to deflect it behind for a Liverpool corner from the right. Going to see another Arsenal change. Lacazette's coming on for Arsenal. Saka has just got a little bit of cramp, it would appear. Nicolas Pepe is doing the old...
He's worked well tonight, Saka.
Yeah.
He's been really good, disciplined in his job, getting back there to stop the 1-2 round him to Nico Williams to get in behind.
Corner then. Lacazette's not going to come on just yet. 10 minutes to play. Still goalless. And the corner taken by Wilson, which is headed away under no particular pressure by Xhaka, who gets his head on it, and it rolls out of play on the far side. Still no change for Arsenal. Lacazette, who scored here at this end on Monday night in that comedy of errors style build-up to the goal, and indeed the execution of it as well. And he's going to take the place of Eddie Nketiah. So Lacazette sprints onto the field. Alexandre Lacazette, 3 appearances this season. He's scored in every match, including Monday night. So Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Back to Tottenham. Mark Scott.
Where it is still 5-2 to Spurs against Maccabi Haifa, and they're looking comfortable now, Tottenham, with just over 20 minutes left to play. Another change, Sissoko on for Højbjerg. Not too much from Dele Alli so far since his half-time introduction, with all eyes on him after his absences from the side throughout this season. Spurs 5, Maccabi Haifa 2.
Thanks, Mark. Still Rangers 2-0 up on Galatasaray in the 7:45 kickoff, so can't be long left there. Celtic already through, if you didn't hear earlier. Arsenal with the ball just in front of their penalty area. Kolasinac playing it back to Gabriel. Gabriel, the summer arrival, as Arsenal are playing it out from the back again. This is edgy stuff, and Kolasinac is giving it away to Nico Williams, but Granit Xhaka puts his foot in and wins it back, and then Xhaka gets it again, still in the Arsenal defensive third, but El Neni chips it away for Cedric Suarez. Cedric Suarez goes for the early pass over the top for Pepe, an angled ball, so it bounces out towards the left wing. Pepe now cuts in field, Lacazette's in the middle, but then Nico Williams, the recovering Nico Williams, gets a touch of the ball to knock it away. Pepe back onto it though, forward for Saka. Saka chips it across to the near post, that's headed away by Reece Williams. Pepe is there, brings it down, but then drags the shot wide on the half volley of the near post, and halfway up the Anfield Road lower tier.
Just looked like a tired shot, didn't it, Johnny? His first touch was excellent. He just dragged it away from Marko Grujic and then lashes it with his left foot, which just looks so uncontrolled. Good opportunity for Arsenal though. Good play from the back and good build-up.
6 minutes or so to play. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. BBC Radio 5 Live.
Jurgen Klopp again, furious with Curtis Jones, just trying another trick in a position on the pitch that you shouldn't be trying a trick in. Almost tried a Maradona-esque style turn to get out of trouble, and he's caused Liverpool problems.
Holding, playing it for Cedric Suarez, but his ball in field was won back by the head of Grujic centrally. So Gomez, and now Reece Williams again gives it to Grujic, and the Serbian international Marko Grujic now plays the ball that ends up at the feet of Harry Wilson here on the right-hand side, who goes back into his own half. So let's get another update from Matt Newsom at Castleford.
Yeah, Castleford 16, Hull FC 26, a 4-point deficit becomes a 10-point one. Hull FC taking full advantage. Ben McNamara, son of the former England coach and Hull player, has scored the try. Mark Sneed tacked on the goal. That's where the games are won. It's 26 points to 16 in Hull's favour.
Wijnaldum played the ball across, and then 24 yards out. Nico Williams went for goal, but the shot, Stephen Warnock, was straight at Leno, and that was one of his easier saves of the evening. And Saka is down, so Leno's overarmed the ball out for a throw. I guess it's cramp again for Saka.
Yeah, just as he went out to close Nico Williams down, he just goes down again with cramp. It's just catching up with him now. Like I said before, he's put so much effort in. He's holding his calf. He's not happy with his calf. There's no point in taking a gamble.
I think it might be more than cramp. He seems okay. He's going to walk off the field anyway. It's obviously a worry. He's been named in Gareth Southgate's England squad today, first time in the senior squad, and and he's being replaced now by Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who's also in the squad.
Yeah, he's still young, John. He's still developing. His body's still getting used to the... I know he played, was it 29 games last year in the Premier League, but he's still going to get fatigued. He's still going to find things difficult. His body's still adapting, getting stronger. He's played excellent tonight. He's such a dangerous player.
He has, yep. 29 starts, 9 substitute appearances in all competitions last season, and 19 years old now. But he is off, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles is on. And Maitland-Niles heads the ball now, playing on the left-hand side of the Arsenal midfield. In fact, left wing back is his position again, and he's backing away, and Maitland-Niles is now chasing this ball that's played over the top, but he won't reach that. It's through to Adrian, who will give it out very quickly to Milner on the far side. Back to Tottenham, Mark Scott.
And Harry Kane has completed his hat-trick. It was a lovely flowing move which began with a crisp first-time pass from Dele Alli just on the halfway line, and Kane with the dinked finish over Josh Cohen to make it 6-2 to Spurs and complete his treble.
Well, that's a great response, Stephen, from Harry Kane after Dominic Calvert-Lewin's hat-trick last night, and everyone. The discussion indeed that was had on the programme last night about whether Calvert-Lewin might force his way into the starting lineup.
I thought exactly the same then, John.
Yeah. The England captain. And he's responded with a hat-trick. Ball over the top for Pepe, but he was in an offside position. The flag is up, and it's a free kick to Liverpool halfway inside their own half. I think the bottom line in that argument is Harry Kane's the England captain. However, I would, even before Jose Mourinho said what he said, these 3 matches, you would not expect Kane to start all 3, personally.
No. But you have to think of what the player wants as well, and if he wants to play games, he's England captain. He wants to get get caps under his belt and play more, or whether he actually wants the rest himself and he worries about picking up an injury within this congested period. So they're discussions that Jose Mourinho, Gareth Southgate, and Harry Kane have to have.
Ball bounces up and strikes Maitland-Niles on the arm, which is outstretched away from his body, halfway inside his own half. So it's a free kick to Liverpool on the right-hand side. The slight complication from an England point of view is that the friendly comes first, the Wales game first, then the competitive matches against Belgium and Denmark. Free kick though for Liverpool. Wilson thought about taking that quickly. Milner made a run, but it's going to be a set piece, which is played in. Milner rolls the ball back just a few centimetres. Wilson runs over it. Milner plays it in right-footed beyond everyone in a red shirt, but Maitland-Niles was there under no particular pressure and got his thigh to it, and it bounces behind for a Liverpool corner.
Yeah, he's just in a position where he doesn't know what's behind him, decides to put it out for a corner. No messing from him. Probably the right decision when you're unaware of what is around you, but another set piece for Arsenal defend against Liverpool, and it's Milner who makes his way across to that left-hand side to put an in-swinger in.
Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. BBC Radio 5 Live. Final minutes of this Carabao Cup 4th round tie. Could go to penalties, but Liverpool with the corner. Milner plays it in. Lacazette is able to adjust, clear it away with his left foot, and then Arsenal break. Lacazette though runs into Milner and has to track back, and then Cedric Suarez hits it long. Reece Williams is under it with the header for Liverpool, and then Grujic takes the ball down under pressure, takes it away from first Willock and then Lacazette. Grujic doing well again. Milner now on the left-hand side for Liverpool. The 34-year-old James Milner. Back to Wijnaldum, and he lifts a high pass right across the penalty area. Nico Williams heads it down under pressure from Maitland-Niles, and that's an easy pickup for Leno. We're in the 90th minute now at Anfield. Xhaka is able to win a throw-in inside his own half. I reckon possibly 3 minutes of added time. 3 minutes of added time is indeed shown. Galatasaray have got a goal back. Marçal has scored in the 87th minute, so it's now Rangers 2, Galatasaray 1 at Ibrox in the Europa League playoff. Again, it's a one-off tie, but unlike the Carabao Cup, that could go to extra time if Galatasaray got an equaliser. Arsenal coming forward, but the cross from the right-hand side from Cedric Suarez is easy meat for the Liverpool goalkeeper Adrian, who's able to catch it unchallenged. So 3 minutes of added time. We've already had 30 seconds of that. Could have a penalty shootout. 5 Live Sport on air till 10 o'clock tonight. We'll try and bring you the live interviews. We'll have news of the draw as well if you're a supporter of one of the clubs through to the last 8. Xhaka wins a quick free kick and then overhits it through the middle. Adrian clears it, but he's cleared it straight to Cedric Suarez. Adrian getting back into his goal, and Cedric Suarez actually finds himself with Origi and Milner, but it's played through now and inside the penalty area. This could be a chance for Willock. It bounces free. Arsenal are suggesting that, did that strike an arm? Is that what they're claiming? Ball's bounced away. Pepe was appealing for something inside the penalty area, and Liverpool have cleared it out for a throw on the halfway line.
And Cedric Suarez is furious. It's Joe Willock who drives into the box. Milner just gets back, and his momentum takes him onto the ball. He falls on the ball with his arm. It's not a penalty. It's just the momentum of the way he's gone forward. It rolls onto his arm, then onto his chest as he rolls over the ball. It's not a penalty. It's just the momentum of the tackle that takes him onto it. The Arsenal players are furious.
And no VAR, if you weren't listening earlier, in the Carabao Cup at this stage. So play continues, and it's still Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. And Cedric Suarez was booked there. Throw in, deflected out of play. Another Arsenal throw down the right, halfway inside the Liverpool half. We've got just a minute of added time to play, and then it'll be another penalty shootout between these sides in the Carabao Cup last season, the penalty shootout in the Community Shield at the end of August between the two, and it looks as though we might have another one, unless as Liverpool come forward with Origi on the left hand side, plays it through to Wijnaldum still out on the left hand side, plays it back to Grujic now 25 yards out, approaches the penalty area, plays it for Milner's chip cross towards the back post, headed away by Gabriel, comes out to Nico Williams, who shoots wide, but the whistle had gone. The referee has spotted something in there, and it's a free kick to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of a tug from Minamino on Kolasinac at the back post. Knows he's not going to win the tackle and just tries to edge Kolasinac out the way, allowing the ball to run onto the edge of the box. Here's a little bit of a tussle between the two, and referee gives the decision the Arsenal way.
Looks like a penalty shootout, Stephen.
Where's your money on, John?
Toss of a coin. Whose turn is it? There's the free kick, which is taken downfield by Bernd Leno, who has been certainly the man of the second half, probably the man of the match. Important saves in the second half from Arsenal's German international goalkeeper, and largely thanks to his efforts, it's finished Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0.
Thank you very much. We'll be back, of course, for penalties at Anfield in just a second. Let's catch up with the other games that are still ongoing at the moment. First, though, and let's go to the Super League. Castleford Tigers against Hull FC. Matt Newson.
What a remarkable turnaround here by Castleford with just a couple of minutes to play. As I just say that, Hull have snatched the lead back again. Castleford have pulled it back to 28 points to 26, but Jake Connor has just gone into the left of the sticks to make it 28 points to 30 with a kick to come. Hull, who looked like they were going down to a defeat, might just have pinched this right at the death. 28 points to 30 with a kick to come. Hull lead.
Comprehensive victory for Spurs in the Europa League tonight. Mark Scott.
Yes, Ellie, 6-2 up against Maccabi Haifa with 8 minutes of normal time left to play. Harry Kane now safely wrapped up in cotton wool after scoring his treble. Jose Mourinho taking him off as soon as he had completed that hat-trick. Tottenham 6, Maccabi Haifa 2.
Other scores in the Europa League. Celtic are through as well to the group stages. They beat Sarajevo, and Rangers against Galatasaray 2-1 at Ibrox last time we heard. So Rangers at the moment heading through as well. And in the Carabao Cup, making their way through to the quarterfinals tonight, joining Everton, Man United, Man City, Newcastle and Spurs are Brentford. They beat Fulham 3-0 at the Brentford Community Stadium, including 2 from Benrahma after Force put them ahead. And then Aston Villa go out to Stoke City, so 2 championship sides through to the quarterfinals, and Sam Vokes, the scorer for Stoke in that game at Villa Park. Right, penalties then at Anfield. And Stephen Warnock, John said that Bernd Leno was probably the man of the match, certainly the man of the second half for Arsenal. He could have a key role to play in the next, well, however long it takes with these penalties.
Yeah, well, the pressure's off the goalkeepers in a penalty shootout. Anything that they get a hand on or make a save to, they're deemed the heroes, and it's up to the players to put the penalties away. The pressure's all on the players to have that confidence going up to put the penalty away. So I think when you think of the form of Leno in the second half, he'll be hugely confident going into this penalty shootout. But Adrian has an excellent record of saving penalties as well.
Other scores, just to confirm, final score at Ibrox: Rangers 2, Galatasaray 1, so they are through in the Europa League to the group stages. And the Women's FA Cup final will be between Manchester City and Everton on the 1st of November after Man City beat Arsenal 2-1 at the Academy Stadium. Right, here we go, penalties coming up, John Murray.
Yeah, and slightly surprisingly, they're at the Anfield Road end, not at the Kop end. Not that I'm sure it makes a great deal of difference. We're behind closed doors, but it is Liverpool to take the first penalty. James Milner against Bernd Leno. And James Milner, little quick steps, and then right foot, consummate penalty taker, James Milner, and he sends Leno the wrong way, and Liverpool score the first penalty of the shootout, 1-0.
And turns round and shushes the Arsenal bench, whether they were saying something on the way up. Very confident penalty from James Milner, though. His record taking penalties is superb, and he sends Leno the wrong way, sticks it into the right-hand corner.
Kitty, a little shush to the Arsenal bench. Oh, that was cheeky. Lacazette then for Arsenal, with Arsenal's first penalty of the shootout. Adrian on the line, up comes Lacazette, little delay, and then he strikes it low into the bottom left corner as he looks, sends Adrian the wrong way, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, lovely penalty from Lacazette, again sending Adrian the wrong way. A wag of the finger as he runs away and runs back towards his mate, high-fiving all the players on the halfway line.
Wijnaldum will take next for Liverpool, so they've gone early with the experienced Liverpool. Bernd Leno waits on the line. It was and here is Wijnaldum then up to the ball and sends it high into the top right corner as he looks. Wasn't too far away from missing the top corner, but it was good enough from Wijnaldum, and it's 2-1 to Liverpool.
Wow, what an outstanding penalty that is. It nearly clips the bar as it goes in the top right-hand corner. Leno, if he'd have gone the right way, would have got nowhere near it. I was wondering if it was going to fly over the bar, but an outstanding penalty from Wijnaldum.
Cedric Suarez to take the next one. He did take one in the Community Shield shootout and scored. And Adrian on the line. It was Alisson in goal for Liverpool in the Community Shield, and it was Martinez in goal for Arsenal, if you remember. So different goalkeepers. Cedric Suarez now right-footed and scores. Even though Adrian went the right way, he was inches away from it, but it had the pace, it had enough to beat the dive of Adrian, and it's 2-2 in the shootout.
It's a penalty. The pace of the ball beating Adrian, like you say, John, diving the right way, but the technique, bending it into the side netting on the right-hand side. Adrian was never saving that.
Minamino next, Takumi Minamino, scorer of 2 goals at Lincoln a week ago in the previous round, and now the Japanese stands on the edge of the box, and up he comes right-footed, and that's a very good penalty as well. Sends Leno the wrong way, who dived down to his right, and it's 3-2 Liverpool.
Yeah, also the scorer in the Community Shield as well, John, and follows that up by a penalty here against Arsenal. Convincing penalty, never looked in doubt.
Next, Mohamed El Neni coming forward, came on as a substitute tonight.
You sound surprised, John.
Well, he has surprised us this season, coming back on loan and being very much a part of Mikel Arteta's thinking. So it's a straight run-up for El Neni, who stands in the D, then steps out to his left and comes up right-footed, and it's saved by Adrian down to his right. And Liverpool have the advantage. It is 3-2 Liverpool, and Arsenal are first to miss. El Neni in the shootout.
Yeah, well, you didn't sound confident, John, and it didn't seem feel confident with his run-up as well. He started straight, then he arced the run, then the penalties. There's not really much confidence in it. It's a great height for Adrian. It's not in the corner. It's mid-range towards the corner, if you like, and Adrian with a comfortable save.
Divock Origi next. He's taken his time, Divock Origi, to walk up there. Not hurried, places the ball down. Short run up, right-footed. It's saved by Leno, down to his right. And now they've both missed one.
Well, again, I don't like the run-up. It's short. There's no way you can build momentum to get a good strike on the ball. It's similar to El Neni's. It's a poor connection. It's the same height. It's the same place in the corner. Oh, sort of just to the right-hand side. A comfortable save for Leno.
Maitland-Niles now named in the England squad again today. He also scored one of the penalties in the Community Shield when he was named man of the match. Ended up that night being drafted into the England squad for the first time on what was his 23rd birthday. And he also is making sure he takes all his time about this. And then a slow, very slow run up to the ball, and then what a penalty that was. That was super cool from Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Scores high with Adrian going down the wrong way to his right, and that makes it all square again. 3-3 after 4 penalties each.
Yeah, and a huge smile as he runs past the next penalty taker for Liverpool, Curtis Jones. I don't know why he even starts the run-up. He may as well just start right next to the ball. That slow jog towards the ball, but a magnificent pen from Maitland-Niles.
So now another of the Liverpool teenagers, Curtis Jones, who scored the winning penalty here at Anfield in the tie last season. And this time, very good penalty, short run-up. Leno went the right way, but it was right in the bottom corner, down to the goalkeeper's right. 4-3 Liverpool.
He's so confident, isn't he, John? The way he plays, his arrogance as he walks back to the halfway line, knowing that he was never in doubt, very calm. It was almost a 3-step and then take the penalty, but the power that he generated into that bottom left-hand corner. Brilliant penalty from Curtis Jones.
So now, Stephen, it's effectively sudden death. 4-3 to Liverpool in the shootout. And Pepe must score this, otherwise Liverpool are through and Arsenal are out. A left-footed penalty, an angled run-up from Pepe. 4 or 5 yards, little steps, and then up to the ball, and he scores. Sends Adrian the wrong way, went down to his left, and it was right in the bottom corner. 4-4.
Yeah, as a left-footer, he almost shows where he's going to go, and it's a game of cat and mouse with the goalkeeper. Is he going to reverse it, or is he going to go where he's trying to show me? He shows him where he wants to go. Adrian guesses and goes the opposite way. Great penalty from Pepe.
Harry Wilson next, having made his first start for the Liverpool first team in a competitive match tonight. Harry Wilson left-footed. Leno goes down and saves it to his left. A very good save by the Arsenal goalkeeper at full extension, and that means that it is now advantage Arsenal.
Yeah, it is a great save from Leno, right down to his left-hand corner. Strong hand. It wasn't a bad penalty from Harry Wilson. He reverses it into the bottom left-hand corner. Strong hand from Leno.
And it is Joe Willock who is coming forward. Joe Willock has the chance now, the 21-year-old, to win the tie for Arsenal. Right-footed, and Adrian, oh, he can't keep it out, it under his body and into the net. Joe Willock scores the winning penalty, and Mikel Arteta's Arsenal have knocked Liverpool out of the Carabao Cup here at Anfield. 5-4 on penalties after the 0-0 draw, and Liverpool, their players have to leave. Jurgen Klopp just touches fists with Mikel Arteta. The Arsenal players celebrate in one corner, and Arsenal, the winners on penalties. Liverpool out of the cup.
Yeah, and Adrian should save that last penalty. Squirms under his body. But great quality in the penalties, apart from obviously the Origi one and the El Neni one with the strange run-ups, but great quality and fantastic save from Bert Leno to win the penalty shootout for his team.
Yeah, Bernd Leno is receiving the congratulations, of course. The goalkeeper has always got the possibility to be a hero in a penalty shootout. But
all right, guys, GG's to Arsenal. They are through to the quarterfinals. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to smash a like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. And for you on Sunday, we do have another match, but Manchester United versus Spurs on Sunday. If you guys do want to watch that, be sure to smash a like on the stream, subscribe for more daily content, and I'll see you guys in the next round. Peace out, guys. Bye.
After the 0-0 draw, Eleanor.
We did say, didn't we, Stephen Warnock, that...
I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a